Yeah, we're live.
All
All
right.
right, cool. Hey, everybody. Welcome to week five. We are Hair on Fire production here. I'm Jaws. I got Lyle over here. I think we're just going to
Yeah.
speed run straight into Champion Select. Lyle, we were talking a lot about these matchups heading in. Yeah, casters are. Let's go straight into it. This is going to be Tasty Crab Legs facing off against No Reply. Tasty Crab Legs bleeding for the first time, losing last week. And No Reply, on the other hand, knocking Yapopotami out of the season.
Yeah.
So we got a couple of different things, but Lyle, yeah, what are you seeing while we're going straight into champs? Like, apologies, can't even give you a chance to
Yeah.
introduce yourself.
Yeah. So yeah, I think mainly these two teams, I think they're about equal. I mean, I would give the edge to TCL obviously because they're the highest seed, but like I think in a head-to-head, I've mentioned it, or I haven't mentioned it, sorry. But like I think that in top lane, Hippo and Sir Aaron are around equal, maybe slightly Hippo favored, but it also depends because they're both pretty much a coin flip on both sides. You're gonna pretty much be coin flipping, and what it lands on is what you're gonna get for the day for both players. For jungle, it's about even. They're the two best junglers in the league between Teague and Spurg. In
Yeah.
mid lane, you've got Pain Pekko, who like plays definitely like a solid foundation game, but you've got Abarn, who isn't as good of a player, but he does run into a lot. Like he makes the game more aggressive. He will play the game at his own pace, and will end up getting leads off of that. And we see that Nautilus just got locked in for Bush League,
Yeah,
and that's
I was gonna comment on that because I appreciate the breakdown. We got 3 out of the 5
yeah,
going.
yeah.
We were talking
I'll
about
mention them more when
Pain
we get to
Pekko.
them.
Yeah, you're good. We'll get there. Payne Pekko, we were saying, really strong individual playmaker, but Abarn really the catalyst for his team, really doing his job. He actually tops the leaderboards in terms of gold per minute and CS per minute. But we see Twitch, Lilia, and Rise being taken off the table for Tasty Crab Legs, and on the other hand, Skarner, Mordekaiser, Leona. You had mentioned a ban strategy targeting Bush League, and it looks like people are, OTL is, No Reply is making sure that Bush League gets one of his two primary supports. Nautilus being locked in, and then the turnaround Braum and Lucian. So bot lane immediately respond locked in by IREP and Talon.
Yeah, I am also noticing that Draven was not, and there it is. Yeah, it got locked in as I said it.
There it is.
But
yep.
but yeah, so basically the best way I describe the bot lane is if JRX and Bush League get Draven and Leona or Nautilus, I consider them the better players. But if they don't get that, I consider Talon X and or Talon Mid and IREP to be the better
Yep.
players. But just I mean they got Draven and Nautilus, and it's Draven Nautilus versus Lucian Braum, so it's a super aggressive lane either way, no matter how you look at it.
Yeah,
and then we've got
and the aggression continues with Jarvan being locked in as well for Spurg. So they are going for the dive into the back line, just try to kill someone as quickly as possible. Jarvan, so flexible, can do a lot, but early ganking, hard ganking, so a lot of action likely at that level 2, 4, 6 spots.
Yeah, and we're see Sejuani to round out the first three. So best way I can think of it right now, at least, is that No Reply is going for a super aggro engage. They are just going to jump on someone and kill them instantly. And then for Tasty Crab Legs, they're more CC oriented. They still jump on you and try to kill you, but it's more like they CC you and then kill you in the CC. Now, we'll have to see the bans.
I was going to say, definitely a longer fight so far on the side of Tasty Crab Legs. Lucian being able to get that double auto reset, be hyper mobile. Braum, as you mentioned, a lot of chase down potential with the Braum and the Sejuani. Lucian as well, super mobile. Whereas No Reply, they just want to punch you in the mouth. Draven, a bit of a burstier AD and a little bit more volatile, depending upon if he gets ahead or behind. That mobility for Talon could also play into his favor, as we see hard target bans against Sir Aaron in the second round. Set and Urgot directly at that top lane. Aurelia, we had mentioned Aurelia as a potential pick. Tasty Crab Legs doing a lot of AP jungling and potentially some AP elsewhere. So Abarn picking up the slack on the AD side. Aurelia's been a primary. We've seen in previous seasons Yasuo. We've also seen Tristana from him as the last ban is about to go down. So they could be kind of forcing Tasty Crab Legs into this. We see Tryndamere being taken
Yeah,
away. I'm not sure if someone was working on Tryndamere or not,
yeah.
but
Abarn
interesting
played it
choice.
against us mid lane, so I mean
Okay, yeah,
it's
there it is.
definitely pickable. I think it looks like they do not want Abarn on an AD champion. So yeah, I mean they took out Rise, obviously that's an Abarn ban. But like I noticed as well for TC Crab Legs, they banned Set, they banned Urgot, they banned Mordekaiser, and I don't know if Soran plays it, but they also banned Skarner, which are
He's a
technically four
top
top
laner, yeah.
lane bans. Yeah, although
Well, it's Skarner can flex, yeah, and you had
yeah, the
mentioned that
Skarner is
Spurs
a
plays a
Spurg
lot of
ban,
Skarner, yeah.
but I don't know if Sir Aaron also plays it. But I guess we're giving the counter pick as well to Hippo, so Sir Aaron is gonna have to blind pick with a limited pool of champions as well, which could be rough. And Silas,
So we're talking about the playmaking potential from Ping Peko. Silas is one of those guys, also really limiting what he can do. Although, correct me if I'm wrong, with the Orianna, if he steals the Orianna ult away, he becomes the ball. Correct? Just confirming.
Yes. So basically,
Okay, cool.
whenever your Orianna can sombrero, and Silas becomes the sombrero. He's just that's the only way he can use it. But
yeah.
At least right now, I mean, I don't think there's the only really good ult right now for Silas is Sejuani. I mean, I guess Aatrox, if that gets locked in, is decent, but like Darius is awful, and Orianna's fine. Lucian is pretty whatever, and Braum is fine. But I think he's also good. Like, I think looking at this draft, I think after those last two picks, like I think it was in favor of no reply in the first three picks. But I think once the last two came through, like I don't think Shen and Silas are going to impact the fights as much as Darius and Orianna will.
Yeah, I completely agree. And Orianna, with that front end burst, able to set Darius up for resets. We've seen Hippo. Darius is one of his favorite champions. He plays it incredibly well. And Talon just able to do a cleanup crew. Lucian on his own, not a huge hyper carry, but he has that opportunistic burst where he can take advantage, and it all comes down to creating those resets. On the other hand, as you mentioned, Shen hasn't had a great track record in TCL, and Sir Aaron really pushed deep into his pool, so potentially scraping the bottom of the barrel. You never know, but I don't know. Yeah, I definitely agree that I think those last two picks definitely working against no reply. And Tasty Crab Legs, they usually have a pretty solid draft, and they've got a well-rounded team with a relatively low degree of difficulty to make something happen. The biggest difference that I wanted to call out is we've seen a lot of 1-3-1 from Tasty Crab Legs. This time it looks like they're running more of a traditional 4-1 or 5-person team fight. So I'm curious if that's an adjustment that they made looking at their film from last week.
So I think they have to go for a 4-1 at the very least, because I don't think like if they just let Shen sit in a side lane, like I don't this Darius I would assume is taking Ghost. He should like I would have taken TP personally just because I'm against a Shen, but I think he probably took Ghost. It's what most Dariuses go, and it gets you kills. But it's going to be very difficult. I think that's their one win con for no reply is split pushing, because they have the better side lane. Silas beats up Orianna 1v1. Shen beats up Darius. Oh, no, Shen doesn't beat up Darius in a 1v1. But Shen does get to sit in a side lane, and Darius has to answer him. And if he doesn't, Shen just TPs into a fight, and they lose because Darius can't follow. And Jarvan can just run between the lanes and gank whoever tries to 1v1 them as well. So it's very difficult. Sejuani isn't as good at following like those types of plays.
Yeah, and it looks like looking at the matchups a little bit more closely, where the jungle pressure is going to arise. Jarvan, we mentioned, he wants to level 2. He can level 2 gank almost immediately. So level 2 gank, level 4 gank, and he does have a couple of options. But if I'm Jarvan, I don't really want to gank a Shen. I'm like, okay, maybe get the Darius behind. There's not a lot going on there. And Orianna is a very, very safe laner. So you're really looking bot lane, which is great for Tasty Crab Legs because they know then kind of where the jungler wants to go, and they can almost anticipate what his pathing is going to be.
Yeah, and I would say that Jarvan should be sitting on the bot side of the map. I don't think he's ever going to touch the top side. I think if anything, Shen should be also joining the bot side with his ult. But it's just going to be very difficult for him to gank top lane because I mean unless they delete Darius. I mean those who don't have the damage to kill a Darius if he gets a Q off. They just like Shen could maybe chip him slightly, but it's not going to become much more than like a half health from Shen unless Darius just very strangely plays out of position.
Yeah, it's going to have to be a total dogpile bot side. So we're in the last 30 seconds. Give me your call. Who do you think is going to take this one?
I think that Tasty Crab Legs will take it. I think they have the easier to execute team comp, and I think I don't believe in the Shen, I'll be honest. I think the Shen is probably going to be the difference maker. If he can get set up in the side lane, I think that's their win con. But I don't know if he will. That's the one thing. It's going to be very, very difficult.
Yeah, I completely agree. I actually think the Shen pick was it always seems to be a bit of a bailout team pick where you're top lane and you don't quite know what to pick and you're like, I'll just grab Shen. I also noticed there's a massive mastery differential between Hippo and Sir Aaron in terms of the picks that they've had. Hippo's at like level 35, Sir Aaron's only like level 12 on Shen. So regardless of his previous track record, individual skill, Shen, so much of Shen is on experience, right? Knowing when to use Stand United, when to split push, when to pull back. So that's going to be a big part of what he's gonna need to see.
Not wanting to cut you off, Rick. Could you give us the stream again? It cut out because of that league glitch.
Yeah, we did lose it. So for those of you who may or may not be seeing this, we're at about 40 seconds. We have a pile up on the bot side of the map from Tasty Crab Legs. Ghost was taken by him.
It's not visible on stream, but no reply is just
there we go.
They're just doing a 5 point. So it looks like most likely something won't be happening, but
yeah, it looks like TCL is hovering in that bot side jungle, but yeah, it doesn't look like they're gonna take any. Maybe they were talking about it. No, they're just gonna back off, and it's gonna be a bottom to top pathing for both junglers, Teague and Spurg, starting on their bot side red and blue buff respectively. Darius, Hippo walking back through, taking it slow. Sir Aaron actually getting the river prio. I say that with heavy air quotes, but Darius doesn't really matter if he's going to face check it. But we're just going to settle in for traditional old game one, bottom to top for both junglers.
Rick, the stream is also okay. I think it's kind of weird. I'm not sure why it's.
Sorry, what's the issue?
Basically, the stream it's like zoomed in and to the top left.
Oh,
and it's also not showing the overlay.
I would leave her enjoy. You're good, man. You're good, man. Just Alt F4 rejoin, and then I'll. Awesome. All right, sounds good. All right, thanks, buddy. All right, everybody, we are back. Apologies. We are gonna have our mini map slightly cut off. Our glorious producer is doing his best. He's probably going to try doing a couple of different things in terms of expanding his capture window. There's a couple of things. All said, just a reminder, these are volunteers. We are doing our best, and we appreciate y'all bearing with us. So we are back. We have a lot to catch up on in terms of this game. So yeah. So I don't know, Lyle, where do you want to start? We're about
go for
basically
it. What's been happening is. Sir Aaron got ganked early in the game and died, and then he also got solo killed by Hippogriff at another point. Mid lane, A-Barn early got ganked, survived, but had to back and TP, and then got ganked again and had to flash and sit in lane with like 100 health, but somehow is up 15 CS. I'm not sure how. We are about to see never mind. Or actually, where is the stream? The stream's a bit behind.
Yep, you're good.
But yeah, gank is happening bot, and they are
just getting shredded.
Getting shredded by that Jarvan ult. Yeah, they are all in there. But I mean, they're actually turning it. The Lucian's still alive. Lucian does go down, but they do get the Draven as well, and it looks like they're gonna run down this Nautilus for the kill. I don't think he's getting out. He has no flash.
No, unfortunately, he is not going to get out. And we were saying in the top side, we were mentioning in the beginning of this stream, it's Shen not really able to he can make a global impact, but the rest of the map really needs to be kind of doing something. He's not able to offset the Darius power, and we're already seeing Hippo just really flexing those early stats and that bleed into him. So looking across the board, as we're settling in, just confirming, 9-10-ish minutes, decent chunk of change in favor of Tasty Crab Legs, about 2,000 gold, and we're starting to see a couple of kills on the right people, right? We've got a couple on Darius, we've got a couple on Orianna, you got a couple on the Lucian. Overall, that's the start that Tasty Crab Legs is looking for.
Yeah, and I mean, Draven's also got 2, so he's definitely accelerated. That's always, Draven always likes getting kills, and he's gotten a couple of them, so we'll see if he's able to keep that up. But
yeah, definitely.
It is gonna be hard.
Yeah, no, this is definitely an uphill climb for the side of no reply. And yeah, on Tasty Crab Legs, we had mentioned before, they're a pretty scary team fighting team. They have a lot of flexibility, they have a lot of mobility. And you had mentioned about Darius potentially having a disadvantage. As we see stun going down onto Pain. Peko does actually sombrero. Here comes Spurg, gonna be able to get the kill onto Abarn. Another root lands Bush League. We had mentioned before, he just knows how to hit those skill shots. But we see counter engage, Talon and IREP on the hunt. Bush League gets the depth charge onto both, might be able to get away, gets the hook, so he's going to be able to get away, as well as Spurg comes down to try to do
Fights
something.
happening all over.
Yeah, there really are fights happening all over the place. And we see in the jungle, Teague is actually kind of swinging up to the top side, and that's a pretty scary situation, regardless of how tanky Shen is. Shen might be able to kind of taunt and do something
Jarvan's also
ridiculous.
sitting bot lane.
Yeah, Jarvan is sitting bot lane. Looks like he's going to be moving away.
Both avoid it.
Hovering. Yeah, I think, I'm going to do a quick time check. What are you at right now on yours?
I am at 11:28. I can't tell what Rick's at because he's got the stream.
I'm at 11:30. So
11:30. Okay.
Once we get the in-game feedback, we'll be able to double check that. So once again, apologies, folks. We are in full IT troubleshooting mode. So we are doing our best to bring this to you. Just so you know, on our cast, on our spectator, what we are seeing is about 11:50, so we may be a little bit behind. If I could get someone awesome in the chat letting me know what time y'all are at, just so I can get a sense of kind of how far or how behind we are, we can make it happen. We'll make it work.
They're at 11:55 right now.
All right, 11:55. So I'm gonna pause a little bit.
But I will say, so that that bot lane play, it looked really good for a while when they got the when they engaged on the Braum and Lucian under turret, and then JRX just walked under turret and got stunned and died. And it was, so we do see a Shen is getting dove right now. I don't know, yeah, he's not getting out of this. There is a TP from Silas though to try to prevent it.
Yeah, well, we'll have to see what happens. We see the Sejuani, you mentioned that as a bit of a favorite. He's going to be able to throw that one. Hippo getting out. And we are synced back up, so now I can actually call fights. All right. So
yeah, he does get the ghost.
Yep, he does get the ghost, and able to get away. And meanwhile, just continuous fireworks on the bot side. This time from no reply. IREP's going to go down. Ignite burned. Jerks getting the Draven celebration, so he's going to be starting to snowball. One of the highest. He actually has the highest gold per minute out of all the different ADs, and considering he runs Draven, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, got the 3-2-1. We see Stand United being actually dropped. Pain Peko a little bit low on mana. Taunt goes down. Double shockwave. Not able to secure the kill. Abarn goes down. Sir Aaron walking away. Stun onto Sir Aaron. He is a tanky boy, waiting for that taunt to come back up. Doesn't even need to use it. Going to be able to get back to the safety of his turret. So bot lane, or top lane, completely abandoned right now as Darius is walking down into the bottom jungle. So there is a clear call from Tasty Crab Legs to secure this first dragon, even though Abarn is down. So they are positioning themselves. IREP clearing out a little bit of the vision, and they have total right of way on this dragon, despite losing their mid laner to a game.
The Jarvan might go for a steal. I wouldn't recommend it. I think it's probably a bad attempt. Yeah, he does look like he's just gonna back off. But the Draven did get another cash out. He is up in gold. Let me actually check. Is he up in gold?
He is not. He's actually down slightly. So he's down, but it's like 100. He's basically even.
If he was, his CS is the main deprecator. But like, I mean, he got a 400 gold cash out, or not 400. He got in total 400 gold from that last cash out. He is getting engaged on again.
Yeah, he is. And IREP looking for a nice punch in the face. Gets 3. Not able to get the 4th quite yet. Might go for a long-range Q, but we do see ulti teleport coming down from Sir Aaron. So not content with just the stand united, rolls in, boxes out IREP. IREP goes down. Abarn is there, however, for the turnaround. Bush League just misses on the Lucian. So we have a 4-person party, 1 for 0 in favor of No Reply. And this game, which had a fairly, I'm going to call it substantial for that early in the game for Tasty Crab Legs, has shrunk. However, the big advantage for them are those 2 dragons, which they were able to grab, as Hippo actually tries to bleed Spurg out off of grabbing the Rift Herald. First turret, however, in favor of No Reply.
Yeah, while that was all happening, as we saw, Spurg did try to take the Rift Herald. He did not get it, so Tasty Crab Legs do end up getting the dragon. Honestly, it's surprising that out of that whole play, where like 3 TPs and a bunch of flashes were used, only 1 kill came out of it, but it went to the Draven. So he's got it. He's catching up.
Yeah.
He is probably going to be the difference maker of this game. And another fight.
For sure. I mean, that's Draven, right? This Draven, whenever he's popping off, you gotta see what is going to happen. I'm going to try to delay myself a little bit. And yeah, Mr. Producer, if you can hear me, I would really love it if you could change our Discord stream to the in-game feed, because I'm currently seeing your Streamlabs, which means I can't actually see what the in-game timer is, so I believe I'm ahead.
There is a kill that happened mid lane, and the fight is breaking, and Spurg barely gets Teague before going down to Abarn.
Yeah, that's a huge play, but a double kill, as you mentioned, for Orianna. And we see Chugga Chugga Choo Choo on the top side. 16 minutes. Okay, we got it. Hippo is now moving his way down. Love you, buddy. Thank you so much. Tiny Rick on the producer, coming in, flying with his hair on fire off of I believe, a grocery run. So appreciate you, buddy. 16 minutes, 30 seconds in. As I mentioned, 2 dragons in favor of Tasty Crab Legs. And now the top side in absolute shambles. Sir Aaron not really able to apply any off-lane pressure because that top outer turret still up. Not the position he wants to be in as a Shen.
I mean, I'll be honest, I think he gave up on top lane completely. He has not, he's been just TPing and ulting out of top lane every single time a play happens. I think he's just trying to use the Shen to get his teammates a league, and I mean, it's getting them kills. It's just, there is also going to be a massive issue because he's just getting free farm, free towers, free everything. Yeah. So it'll basically depend on if No Reply is able to actually deal with this Darius, and I honestly don't think they do. And also, I do just want to point out, on stream you can't see it, but Sir Aaron has a Frozen Heart on Shen, so he is wasting a bit of stats on that champion. I'll be honest.
Oh, boy. Oh yeah. Oh, I remember the constant debate about the Frozen Heart, and especially with the well, actually, I believe the with the itemization changes, right? Frozen Heart with Randuins, they did remove. They were able to make it so that you can technically buy both of them, but leading with a Frozen Heart on Shen, yeah, probably not the strongest choice considering the poor wave clear, as well as just there's just a lot of different things in terms of either getting like the bombies, the early bombies, maybe getting some Tiamat, just like anything that can help you clear the lane faster. Otherwise, he's just going to continue to get pushed in by Hippo.
Yeah, I mean, he's never winning a 1v1. The Frozen Heart will help him in a team fight, maybe. Even then, it's really just Darius and Lucian, I guess, it's going to affect for the attack speed slow. It is a good item financially wise, but I think it would, he doesn't even have boots. He doesn't have a ninja tabi, so I think he's just going to get absolutely blown up by this Darius if Darius ever fights him.
Yeah, it looks like, as you said, he's not really playing for the lane. He's really just playing for the team. And, Tasty Crab Legs looks like they just want to try to accelerate this as quickly as possible with bot lane going down, so potentially just sending him. But, yeah, the lack of wave clear on Sir Aaron, as we see Hippo pulling Spurg, and Spurg actually fairly behind. Hippo has 3 levels on him, so he needs to get out of there. 1 baby combo knocked out 3/4 of his health. Yeah. That is super scary. On the other
Darius
side, we see
there, he was dead.
Yeah, potentially. As you see Teague getting a little bit of a return favor from Pain Pecco, says, get out of my jungle. But Tasty Crab Legs applying pressure onto this mid lane, and their win state is clear. They want this soul, and they are hovering around, rotating. Abarn grabbing that bot outer and calling out for his team. They do have the Vision Ward in there, so if they want to go for this soul, they have a really solid position for it. But Abarn actually backing, if I could just see if he has a ton of gold in his pocket, I'm assuming he does. Just get the item tab up.
He's got 1,500.
There we go, yeah.
Leading Shadow Flame, or Zanya's. Okay, so he's actually So I just wanted to real quick go through their items. So Darius is
sorry, just a quick sec. Saren looks like he might get caught out. Talon trying to get as much as he can. Oh, but IREP getting the long-range snipe on Braum. I would call that a kill steal, but I don't think that was going to be secured without IREP. Nice play by M. Spurg, hovering around once again. Pain Pecco grabbing the sombrero as well, and with a short-range team like this, he'd absolutely make something happen, but he just dies before anything else. So instant double kill in favor of Tasty Crab Legs, and they're going to secure this dragon and go to Soul Point.
Yeah, I don't think that was a fight they should have even, like, I don't even think Pain Pecco should have even gone for that. He was 1v5, had a Orianna ult. Even if he hit the E on Orianna, I mean, he would maybe get Ori to half health and then die, but now they give them 2 kills, they give them Dragon, and they give them Baron. It's just gonna spiral. It's already fairly spiraled, to be honest.
Yeah, this is the Tasty Crab Legs classic. This is the A-Barn team classic. It's 20 minutes, let's hit the gas. And as you said, it's more about they're playing for the team, they're not really playing for the individual. Jerk's trying to get some good damage in, not able to get it. Secure, Teague has to flash out, doesn't really care as much. Big grab, taunt onto Hippo, Ignite going down, he goes low, and it looks like the call is to retreat and save those Baron buffs as much as they possibly can. So a couple signs of life from the side of No Reply, but a massive 5,000 gold lead for Tasty Crab Legs, and you said Soul Point plus the Baron.
Yeah, and it's going to be, after that, like, if they were able to get some kills, it would maybe be playable, but it's going to be very rough. I mean, the one thing I will say is I've been looking at the builds, and I've been wanting to mention it, but we just had constant fights. Yeah. But the Sejuani has Zeke's Convergence and is going towards Thornmail, so she's full support like to Sejuani. She's not going to be providing anything other than CC in fights. And the Orianna is Seraph's Embrace Zanya's, so she's also not super high damage herself. Now, obviously, we've got a Frozen Heart on Sir Aaron that we mentioned earlier. Oh, we can see a little bit on the stream now, actually. But Clips on Jarvan, Lichbane on Silas, BTIE on Draven, Kraken Navori on Lucian, and then Frozen Heart on Knot and Locket on Braum.
Yeah, and it looks like Sir Aaron is actually going for that Bombies now, but just a little late. It's, you know, typically I don't play a ton of Shen, but in my experience, just getting something to help wave clear. So I'm glad he got it, but yeah, you mentioned that that's going to be a tough one, but you know, in the grand scheme of things, as we see a hard dive down, as the turret goes down, beautifully timed, they were able to drop it. Talon diving in, confident that his teammates were going to be able to get the tower focused down, and they're making the most of this Baron power play, getting inner halfway down, outer down, and just kind of snowballing through these objectives. And something that I always remembered, someone tell me, they said, hey, look at towers like Vision Wars, right? If you lose a tower, you're not just losing the tower, you're not just losing the wave reset, you're also losing vision, and that's something you have to make up for. And they are making the most of this. Yeah, and I gotta say, it is bizarre seeing IREP on a support champion. It's just like, wait, he actually plays these now.
Yeah, he's still had the lack of flash, but I mean, what are you gonna do? It's IREP. And Braum just kind of. Or that was a Silas Braum ult. Never mind. That was just a Silas Braum ult to stop the engage.
Yeah.
I was like, Braum just kind of threw ult for no reason, and then I'm like, wait, never mind.
Yeah. It was
but yeah, it's looking like it's difficult because this Darius is also just applying pressure constantly. They've got nothing to defend this bot turret. No one's even there. They're collapsing on it now, and I mean, they could maybe try to take a 5v4 because Darius won't be able to join, but
yeah,
Darius is just fighting on the Shen, so Shen's not going to be able to ult.
This is a straight up bleed out. It looks like they're just, like I said, making the most of this. And you had mentioned before this. Oh, wow. Did you see that crit on the Talon? Jerks gets one auto and took out about half of his health. Sir Aaron trying to bait Hippo under the turret. But at this point, Hippo just does not care. And yeah,
the taunt's down now, so the turret can just die if Hippo wanted to kill it.
Yeah,
but he's backing off.
And you had mentioned the Darius 4-1ing and, you know, just be able to get ahead in this matchup, Shen just not being a threat, and that's exactly what they're doing. They could fight as 5, but they don't really need to, and the only real opportunity for the Shen was the global pressure, and credit to Sir Aaron, he really did his best, but he just wasn't able to find those moments that would allow them to get where they want to go.
So the chat asked for the score lines, for specifically Draven, but I'll just read out all of them. The Shen is 1-4-2, the Draven is 3-0-3, or Darius is 3-0-3, the Jarvan is 3-3-2, the Sejuani is 1-1-11, The Silas is 023. The Orianna is 522. The Draven is 521. The Lucian is 624. The Nautilus is 156, and the Braum is 1510.
Yeah, and wanted to call out just kill participation. I don't have the stream, so just in case y'all aren't seeing, so we got 16 kills, 16 team kills on the side of Tasty Crab Legs, 10 team kills on the side of No Reply. Sejuani, so Teague, Talon, and IREP all hovering about 12 out of 16. So kill participation on the side of Tasty Crab Legs incredibly high. And gotta give credit to Jerks pumping out the deeps and really contributing. The bot lane doing their best, but Tasty Crab Legs just hit another gear, and they're about to grab Soul, and I don't really think No Reply can do anything here.
This fight essentially is going to go down to, does Draven die immediately, or does he get to deal damage? That's how it's going to end up.
Yeah, Dragon is being burned down. A couple of ults have been popped. Shockwave only hit Bush League, so they do have the opportunity, but that is Soul. That's Ocean Soul, I believe. And we see Exhaust going down onto the rampaging Talon. Talon on a rampage, knocks out Jarvan, and we just see free swinging in the back. Hippo's going to be starting to go for some resets. Doesn't even need to do anything, because Talon just got a pentakill. Holy moly. Free swinging and getting, I believe, our first pentakill of the season.
Yeah, I believe that is. And that, I mean, that was an incredible ult from Spurred, but there just wasn't enough damage to follow it up. Like, the Draven was the only thing doing damage, and it just wasn't enough. They're all at full health. They have Ocean Soul. It's just difficult, and that looks like it's most likely going to be the end of the game as well.
Yeah, that's going to be the game. An emphatic exclamation point on the side of Tasty Crab Legs. If any of y'all were worried about them potentially tilting their faces off after losing last week's series, rest assured they are here to win. Game 1, 26 minutes and a pentakill from Talon, and No Reply. They're going to have a reply for this game too, because Tasty Crab Legs, they came to play.
Yeah, that was rough. Like, they were getting kind of demolished. I think the bot lane was the spot of hope for No Reply, but like mid was winning for a little bit and then just kind of fell behind. Jungle was, I mean, it's jungle. They just kind of affect every lane, and top lane was just getting demolished. So
yeah,
it's rough.
Yeah, I mean, there's like you said, a couple bright spots of hope, but Tasty Crab Legs, we kind of called it. Just saying. No, just kidding. In the Champion Select, we had mentioned that the Tasty Crab Legs draft looks really good. Sir Aaron getting pushed really deep into his pool, not able to exert the kind of pressure that he normally picks, and just a couple of different things. So we'll have to see if No Reply makes some adjustments and comes back and makes this a full 3-game series, or if Tasty Crab Legs are going to try to cement themselves into the playoffs looking really, really strong and bouncing back from last week. Don't go anywhere, folks. We will be right back. Hey everybody, thank you so much for your patience. We are in game 2 of No Reply versus Tasty Crab Legs. Tasty Crab Legs absolutely, I'm going to call it obliterating No Reply in that game 1, punctuated by a Talon pentakill on Lucian, I believe our first one of the season. What a privilege to cast that one. Appreciate it. Also a privilege to cast alongside Lyle, Walt, king of the top lane, king of the stat sheet, and my partner in crime as we navigate this wild roller coaster of a game. Lyle, how you feel about game 1 and the blue side pick from Tasty Crab Legs for game 2?
So, I mean, if anyone in the chat checked out Chuck's stat sheet, blue side is just like 73% win rate in TCL. So, I mean, we've got TCL on blue side now, and they just won game 1. So we'll have to see. But I think bans are going to get changed up this game. I think Lucian might have to go. I don't know. I don't know if they think it's worth taking out. But I mean, if you get a pentakill and you get the most, like, the highest KD on your team, it's probably pretty scary. But I don't know if they'll consider that the problem in that game.
Well, I will say that the chase down potential of the Braum Lucian lane, and also the ability to just ignore Bush's hook potential was definitely a factor. It didn't feel like they were ever really under threat. And Talon is a strong enough player that he can take advantage of any small mechanical mistake, as we see Skarner being banned out from Tasty Crab Leg, so that is unchanged. Rise unchanged. But yeah, I could absolutely see just that combination of Lucian Braum just being able to lock up the low mobility Draven, ignore Hook City, and just get out of trouble in that. I will say that last fight, you got to put a little bit of an asterisk on it, because Tasty Crab Legs had just gotten Soul. They were very far ahead in gold. So it was a little bit more of a wallet throw than a crazy Duber outplay. But, you give credit where credit is due. A pentakill's a pentakill. Lilia being banned away from Teague. Mordekaiser banned away from
I think this last one's going to be a Leona. Yep.
Yep. And so it looks like they're not changing anything, but they may be taking the Nautilus away. Irip has played a lot of Nautilus. So that might be their play right now.
Yeah, this is similar to what my team did to No Reply. The only difference ban was we banned Draven, but that's not getting locked in first pick. No way. No way. I've long learned to just not even give the hovers any airtime whatsoever. Okay, interesting. We were expecting the Nautilus to do kind of we call it the fourth ban, right? The blue side fourth ban away from Bush League, but it doesn't look like they saw the Nautilus as a big threat, and they liked the Sejuani and they wanted to take it. Oh, Lyle, you are muted if you're talking. And we see the Nautilus hover on the side of Bush League. So that's going to be the grabs of Bush League. And Zach, insta-grab, one of Spurg's best junglers. I'm going to grab it, yeah. Water went down the wrong
tube. Hey, no worries. Figure out what you got to figure out. I'll keep talking. Yeah. This is a much more aggressive pick. I know Jarvan is an aggressive pick in its own right, but Zach has just been absolutely laying waste to TCL for several seasons. Braum being grabbed, so they may just run it back with the Lucian Braum again. You had mentioned before that it could potentially be a problem. No Reply didn't seem to think that it was a problem, because they're going to give it to them.
Yeah, these are the first two same picks from Tasty Crab Legs. They could just run it back.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Do what you gotta do. And I'll keep chit chatting. Don't sweat it. Yeah. So they are absolutely gonna run it back in that bot lane. They looked great in that side. They know, especially when there's a predictable bot lane where it's like, we're gonna run Draven and a hook champion or Leona every single time, it's gonna allow them a little bit more flexibility to just pick what they want and pick what's gonna work, not just for the lane but for the team. As we see Tryndamere is being banned away, they did not want to deal with that Abarn Tryndamere mid again. Appreciate Lyle reminding me that Tryndamere, I believe it was week 1, they just locked it in, and that was a wild ride. So nobody likes being Tryndamere, myself especially.
I got solo by it.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That was such a
what happened was, I might as well talk about it, since this draft is pretty much playing out the same way as it was last game. What happened was, I was playing Garen, and Garen's Q cleanses slows. Yeah. But I Q'd half a second early, so then I got W'd and I didn't cleanse the slow, and then I just got ran down by Tryndamere and died, and I'm like, oh, damn it.
I gotta say, I'm a little surprised. So Sir Aaron will have counterpick if he wants it, but I'm a little surprised that they didn't potentially give him what he wanted, because, like, I don't know if I see a Draven ban late. So I feel like
I think they would have taken it out if they picked top lane there.
Potentially.
They would have probably.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
They would have been banning. They wouldn't have been banning top laners, so it would have just probably been like Draven and then a mid laner, I'd assume.
That's a fair point. And Syndra being grabbed, we see the Azir hover. Abarn's got a couple of different options here, but Syndra probably one of Pekko's best champions. Really, really strong. Azir is being grabbed. A couple of hovers. So yeah, Sir Aaron will have the counter pick. I did want to call out Zac top is a thing, so they could be using Zac as a flex. As kind of a bait car to try to grab the jungle pick last and try to see what the pick is going to be. Yasuo being hovered, so it is going to be a Yasuo top for Hippo, Azir mid, and now yes, Sir Aaron has counter pick. He could run the Zac if he wants to run Zac top. I feel like that's going to be a jungle, so we'll see.
If I was in this situation, I would hard lock Garen frame 1 because that champion can't win, but Malphite is a good alternative. I won't deny that.
Yep, and Sir Aaron is hovering it. We'll have to see.
That's pretty good as well, but it's way more difficult. Yasuo is very bad into Malphite.
Yeah.
But I think he probably wanted to deal more damage. But
yeah, and especially with the Zac in the jungle, they're probably going to need a little bit more sustained damage as well as the split push threat. Syndra great for she can do the longer fights. I will say,
yeah,
but
it's gonna be.
she's got that bursty. She needs that bursty blow you up. And Braum picking Syndra into a Braum, that's a tough situation.
It's definitely weird. I think it's gonna be it's gonna be difficult for both of these teams to engage because for Tasty Crab Legs they have to get through Syndra's QE and they do have 2 wind walls, but to get through and for no reply they're gonna have to get through like Braum or I mean for Tasty Crab Legs they have to get through Braum or no
No,
reply.
you're
Is to
right.
get through
Yep,
Braum.
no reply.
Yeah,
No reply is going to have to go through wind wall and Braum shield, and they're going to have to walk around a Azir wall. So there's a lot of manufactured terrain as well as general barriers that they're going to have to operate around. So the concept of creating a split push situation with the Jax, especially against a Yasuo, if Sir Aaron can get ahead, that makes a lot of sense. I actually love the Zac Jax combination, being able to kind of snowball ahead because Jax and Zac don't really care about wind wall that much. I think the only thing that I can
yeah.
think of that would
It's
work is the tendril, the Zac tendril. That's really it in
yeah
terms of what wind wall could block.
yeah. It's But the other thing is that Zac can just Q a minion and then auto attack Yasuo and then it won't block it.
Yeah, there
But
you go.
I would say in a 2v2 though, Yasuo and Sejuani actually have it, but it's not. It's just because Sejuani is so strong with melee champions. I might as well show it because someone in chat mentioned it. Yeah, this is a Jhin mask. Where is the camera? But yeah, one of my friends 3D printed it for me a few years ago, and
Yeah,
he used to be my main, but I play top lane now, so I don't
yep.
get many games of him anymore.
It is very cool, I gotta say. But yeah, talk to me about talking about this 2v2 because I think that's where we're gonna see. I think we're gonna see a ton of
2v2.
fireworks. Yeah, the
It's
2v2 in the top set. I think we're
pretty
gonna see a
much
ton
the
of fireworks
same,
here. Yeah.
but I the only or actually yeah, it is the same actually. So pretty much what you saw last game. I think it's going to be more on jungler intervention because last game Nautilus was hitting a lot of hooks on Braum, but there was also sometimes and like they would get kills from it, but there was also a bunch of mistakes from Draven and Nautilus. So I think it's going to depend on how the Zac and Sejuani position position their ganks onto bot lane that will decide it. And we've seen the Sej, Lucian, and Braum, so they were already pretty good. We'll have to see how this Zac changes it up versus the Jarvan.
Yeah, for sure. I actually, sorry, I misspoke. I meant the 2v2 top lane, like the top jungle. I
Oh,
feel like that's where all the fireworks are going to be. I completely agree with you. If Bush League, because Bush League did land a couple of hooks onto Talon. IREP, however, was doing an incredible job as security detail, eating absolutely everything that he possibly could. The lower mobility of the Syndra is going to make it a little bit harder for Pekko to roam versus the Azir. And Azir, I definitely think Pekko has the advantage early, but once Azir gets moving, Abraham's going to be able to just kind of do the hard shove, do the hard farm. But yeah, top side, I'm not going to lie. I love seeing a 3-game series, and Sir Aaron's a pretty solid Jax. I would love to see him pop off. Jax is one of my favorite champions to watch, like especially when he's ahead.
yeah.
But that's I think that's really where the game is going to be won.
I think that definitely this time No Reply has a way more playable team comp. I don't know. Like the last game's team comp was very difficult for them to like do anything in a team fight on. They were just running into too much stuff. This game they've got range and they've got way longer range engage. So and the carries on No Reply, and we do get a pause. But no reply on this team does have a way to actually get onto the semi-immobile carries of Tasty Crab Legs.
Yeah, definitely a much more mobile team. So as we're into the pause, who do you think? You think it's going to be a clean sweep? Tasty Crab Legs keeps the momentum going? You think we're going to a game 3?
I think that if No Reply can end the game in the first 25-30 minutes, they'll win. But I think if it goes past that, I think Tasty Crab Legs will just win. I think the Azir will just outscale them too much.
Yeah.
Because the Syndra is their late game insurance, but it's difficult to get through a Yasuo and a Braum as Syndra. So
wait, hold up. The Syndra is their late game insurance when they have a Jax?
Syndra is actually extremely high damage late game in team fights now after the changes she got like last year.
You think more so? You think more so than Jax with the split push pressure and the ability to just like get going?
I think it's kind of difficult to play Jax into this game because every single champion, or like, if he jumps in, he's gonna get stunned by either Sejuani or Braum pretty quickly, or he's gonna get knocked out by Azir. And it's just, if he gets to free hit, he'll do well, but it's really hard to free hit in team fights as Jax. On comps like this, Jax just kind of ends up depressed sometimes.
I mean, I would assume that in a situation like this, he's not going to be team fighting at all. He's just going to be hard split, and that may be the strategy. But yeah, y'all, we are into it. Someone asked about first blood. I'm going to call a. I think it's going to be clean sweep. I think Tasty Crab Legs is going to take this. I would love to see a Jax pop off split push menace, but to your point, I think that TCL is too good at slowing the game down and getting kind of where they want to be. And I think Azir is just one of those champions that can kind of free swing and go from there. So yeah, we are in client. If we could just get the Discord stream so we can make sure we are synced up with the
and it's just a 5-point. But back to the Syndra, she actually isn't particularly strong early. I think Azir actually has the push early on her as well. It's not until 20 stacks, which I think is level 4, that she actually becomes like somewhat relevant in lane. But before that, she's pretty low prio. She just does because she needs the 2 Qs to be able to really do anything.
Yeah, being able to get the double Qs, used to have so much power, but with the stacking, as you mentioned, being able to scale using the stacking, we have actually reverse starts. So we have Spurg hanging topside, top to bottom, and then we see on the other side Teague going bottom to top. So it looks like Teague's going to want to try to get Hippo going. But yeah, Spurg he may go for a very quick level 2, level 3, but not sure about that. He's definitely topside, so he may be looking to get this Draven snowballing, or even just a Pekko. There's a lot of options. What I like is there's so many more options on the side of no reply for the Zac to exert his pressure, whereas last game, way fewer options.
It looks like a fight might break out level 1.
Oh, yeah. Well, he did call, as we see the hook going down onto Bush League, counter attack onto Talon, and Jerk's taking a couple of autos that he probably didn't want to. So minor advantage in favor of Talon and IREP. IREP is just a sniper with these Q shots, lands on Jerks. So Jerks has to be careful, especially with that double tap on the Lucian side. So it looks like the push is on, and level 2, I think it's going to be Lucian Braum grabbing it. So Bush League and Jerks need to be super duper careful. While that's happening, Teague getting some deep vision. Tasty Crablegs has been so good with their deep jungle vision, and Teague is actually going to do a little bit of extracurricular activities in the no reply jungle, grabbing the blue buff.
To an empty jungle, I think.
Yeah, and it looks like Spurg is going for the early level 3, so this thing really has to pay off.
He got a ward down for Sir Aaron, but I don't know if that ward will amount to much because Besides just looking at mid, and Spurg is also looking at mid, so we might be getting a 2v2 in a moment.
Yeah, and Pain Pekko is trying to hover around going in. Spurg tries to split, blocks the grab from Teague. Teague gonna walk up, but Spurg taking a ton of damage, and he's just gonna have to walk away. Good knockback from Pekko, able to kind of stop things, but crucial flash blown from the immobile Syndra, and I think Teague's going to be making a return trip to that mid lane in a couple minutes.
Yeah, I don't think Spurg should have gone for that as well, because even if he did hit the E, they weren't going to win the 2v2. Syndra just isn't strong enough early. It would basically just been Zac damage coming out from that fight.
Yeah, and it
Zac
seemed like
finds
Pekko, I think Pekko was already on cooldown when Spurg flew in, so they weren't quite on the same page. And yeah, unfortunately, the gank fails, and he comes back to his jungle to find his house got robbed. So it's just not, things aren't going great for him in the jungle so far. Teague, meanwhile, is just having a blast. Yeah, fight top lane, and Sir Aaron and Hippo dancing around each other. The stun does not land, the tornado does not land. Little bit of an advantage for Sir Aaron, doing a great job of slow pushing this lane up and just trying to starve Hippo out. But we see Teague is there. Sir Aaron diving in, getting the stun, jumping onto Hippo, and just going to walk away. Probably going to take... Oh, no, not going to take the tornado for his thoughts, but gets stunned.
Does get a little E for his trouble, but gets out of it. I mean, yeah, that's a difficult... At that point in the lane, it's really hard for Asij to get a gank off there unless Sir Aaron had already used Flash and Q, but he had both up, so it wasn't... Not much was going to come from that. Well, Well, Zach did just take the Raptors back from Sedge, so they're both just they're walking into each other's houses and stealing each other's clothes.
Oh yeah, but he's going to do more than that. He's going to go in, try to get a grab. But once again, it looks like Payne, Pekko, and Spurg not quite on the same page. Sarah Aaron going incredibly low, and Hippo going to go for the thing. Actually requires the ward jump to get away. So Hippo exerting his will on this Yasuo in this lane, and we are back even on farm. So Sarah Aaron going to have to be really, really careful. Both teleports are still up, and we see IREP and Talon just kind of hovering around, trying to see if they can catch Bush League coming back in, but he's not going to do it as the wave pushes away from them. Meanwhile, I believe this is a sneaky grab from Abarn and Teague. Abarn over the wall, and Teague going through his wall. So they're going to sneak this first dragon, and I don't think No Reply knows at all what's going on.
Yeah, I don't think they do. That's going to be a free drag for Tasty Crab Legs. I wanted to go back to that Jax jump. It's actually better for him to use the ward hop other than the flash, just because, I mean, flash is a longer cooldown than the ward, and it will be there if he needs it again for another hop away. Of course, he won't have vision, but just don't get ganked, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. I was thinking more, it looks like he severely miscalculated his damage, because he went and having to use any kind of resource to escape, that's definitely a big old problem for him. But yeah, you know, credit to Hippo really exerting his will. Does have those attack speed boots now, and we see Teague hovering around IREP, potentially using himself as bait, doing the good support thing.
Oh, that's
as we see the hook grabs, Bush League has to go because he hit the wall, and that is Teague all day. But Spurg looking for the turnaround. Bush League gets incredibly low. IREP on the wrong side. There's a bonk. There's first blood, and then Jerks is on the hunt. So a turnaround kill, 1 for 0 in favor of No Reply on the counter gank. As we see, can I go back to the top lane, please? Looks like, actually, oh wow, never mind. There goes Jerks.
Yeah,
getting the kill, but then a tower dive coming in. Bush League is there.
Bad.
A double bonk against the tower, and a double now for Jerks. So a very different story in this bot lane, as you had mentioned. And despite how good that Lucian Rom looked, early plate, early cash out, early double kill for Jerks. Really strong play for them.
Yeah, one of the worst Nautilus hooks possibly ever, but somehow it worked out, and they ended up getting all 3 of them, and 2 of them on the Draven. So it's going to be rough now. There's no Sums bot lane at all on all 4 players, so it's just going to be Draven with almost a completed BT versus a Hearthbound axe for Lucian.
Yeah, anytime you see a Draven come back with a BF sword 7 minutes into the game, you know that there's a problem.
You cry.
So yeah, we see, yeah, you cry a little, you die inside, and then you just try to farm.
The Sejuani is taking the Rift Herald, or not the Rift Grubs right now.
Little grubbies, yep.
Getting help from Yasuo. That should just be a free for them. There's no one looking around it from No Reply.
No, and T doing such a great job of owning both sides of the map in terms of global objectives, able to snag that first dragon, now grabbing the Void Grubbies. So despite a very, very fed Draven in the bot side, TC Crablegs doing what they always do and making sure that they secure the objectives. And it's going to be the question of where do they look for that moment? Because they always seem to have a nose for that moment of when they can really hit the gas. You know, patiently biding their time, withstanding the storm, especially if there's a lot of individual playmakers on the other team. A lot of respect there in terms of knowing the buttons
for
they can
something
press.
bot lane.
Yes, they are. Yep.
They might be looking for some cheese right here.
Oh,
He's just standing there. They have to know this is happening. I think they might have saw him on that ward that Bush League just placed.
No, he walked through. Oh yeah, you're right. He might have turned the corner and they might have seen it.
Yeah, Abarn's going back now.
Because there's a vision.
That's
I think
a shame.
There's a vision in first brush that IREP hasn't cleared yet.
I believe that was just placed by Bush League in the.
Got it.
But that was what I thought. Abarn got spotted by, but yeah, Abarn missed some CS there for that and didn't get much for it. So, but he was looking for a play. It could have become something, but
yeah, I mean, he absolutely could have. And when looking at what they could have done, the mobility of Azir definitely makes him a huge playmaker. That was a he did have level, he did have Emperor's Divide, so great time for him to roam, especially with the ability to push incredibly fast. On the other side, trying to take a look at ball count on Syndra. What are we at? We're at 46. So she does have the double Qs at this point. So probably going to start being a bit of a problem. Maybe Abarn looking to just hard push and then move through the map, knowing, maybe I don't want to deal with a 1v1 against this Syndra because one stun and he's out of here.
Yeah, it's I mean it's gonna be difficult to hit the stuns later though through Braum and through Yasuo. I mean those are the only thing that those go through are for some reason Gwen W because they used to be glitched.
Oh really?
Yeah, there was a glitch that Gwen had where Syndra QE just ignored Gwen's W and would hit her anyway. It was the only ability in the game that did that.
Yeah.
No one knows why. I think it's been fixed at this point, but it was a thing earlier this year.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Where it's like everything. This is an absolute rule except for this one random ability because oops. So
yeah,
that sounds right. But hey, going in the bot side, we see Spurg flying in again, getting a grab. Great hook from Bush League. IREP getting a double pop, trying to pop him. Bush League succeeds in dying. Talon returns to favor by dying himself. Jerks goes low. Jerks is swinging. Jerks gets a double kill. 2 for 1 in favor. 1 in and no reply. And this bot lane is full speed humming despite a couple of deaths. So yeah, bot lane round 2 in favor of Jerks and Bush League.
Maybe I was wrong in the Lucian needing to be banned. Maybe it was the Draven that needed to be banned. This is looking very rough, though. I will not deny. I'm going to check the gold lead real quick for that Draven. I think he's at least up 1,000 gold at this point.
Yeah, he is up 2. Almost 2.
2,000, yeah. So he's coming back with an item and a half, and Lucian has a half of an item. So it's going to be difficult. Draven always is very difficult if he gets a lead like this, and it's only going to spiral more. I don't see how Lucian can really stand in a lane with his Draven much longer. Unless he mispositions.
Yeah, absolutely true. It's the opposite side of where Lucian wants to dash forward, right? Get the quick burst off. But in your dashing forward into a Nautilus hook or just Draven free swinging, IREP doing a good job of trying to block as many of those autos as he possibly could. But there's a certain point where he's not strong enough to withstand the Draven, especially with a fully completed BT. As we see 11 minutes in, even Dragons now crucially, no reply, making sure that Tasty Crab Legs can't get what they want, as we see Spurg, man on a mission, gonna get the quick conk. Abarn, Emperor's Divide under the wall, flashes out, spears flying everywhere. Pekko getting a couple of hits, and Abarn actually surviving with the kill, but Hippo's gonna come down trying to get something, but Abarn crucially survives the 1v2, makes the play under turret, and keeps his team in this game.
Yeah, I was trying to check if Abarn had used E before the engage for the Syndra had landed her abilities. He had not used it, so then he was able to use it right at the end, and Syndra just flash queued, missed, and then got killed by the powered up turret. And that was rough because they were very close to getting that kill on Azir, and then if they did get it, that was a completely different game state.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, looks like some of the major items are starting, as it looks like, this game actually not, so if you want to wax poetic on whatever you want, this game is a little bit slower in terms of the bloodthirstiness. So yeah, I'm seeing some of the major items start to be finished. And yeah, this game seems to be a little bit less out of control and a little bit more even. So yeah, what are you seeing across the map right now?
So the main thing I want to point at is top lane, actually, because they've just been going even, and I think that, as far as I can recall, this is a Jax favored matchup in the 1v1. And the later this game goes, I mean, the more difficult it gets for Yasuo, because I mean, he just won't be able to use his Q on Jax. It just gets blocked when he uses E, and the lower Jax's E cooldown gets, the more damage he blocks from Yasuo. But it's also very difficult for Jax to chase down Yasuo if he's in a wave. But if he's not in a wave, he just kind of dies.
Yeah, there's definitely some and Jax has not finished. Looks like he's just I think he's going Triforce right now. He's got the axe plus the sheen, so gonna be going for that Triforce. And Hippo, on the other hand, I mentioned the attack speed boost, and yeah, like as it looks like these things are starting to slow down a little bit, but Hippo crucially getting out of that stun. Ulti goes down. Sir Aaron goes incredibly low. Sir Aaron needs to be really careful. As we see Teleport actually going aside, Hippo going for a tower dive, successfully tower diving. Sir Aaron gets out alive. Abarn Abarn, meanwhile, teleporting into the bot lane, trying to make this thing a party. Spurg is there, Teague is there, so is Pekko. So we've got a straight-up 4v4 going on. Stun lands onto multiple people. Abarn survives. Talon not so lucky, going for the snipe, and Spurg gonna be able to grab onto Abarn. Teague on the wrong side of everyone. Double kill for Pekko. So vroom vroom, the carries engines are humming, and it looks like bot outer is gonna go down as well for No Reply. They are looking great in this game too.
Yeah, you don't like seeing your Drax dying to Yasuo, but I mean they won they won an insanely more important fight in the bot lane. They got 3 kills. I think one of them, no, two went to Syndra and one went to Zac. So it's a shame that Draven didn't get any, but he's already got 4, so he's still doing pretty well either way.
Yeah, the Draven, and crucially getting those cash outs, and that's really what's been getting going on getting that first major item. And Sir Aaron just doesn't look like he can buy a stun against Hippo. Finally gets one, and look at what he's able to get on that trade. But in that last fight, it really looked like Hippo just slicing, dicing, getting out of that stun range. Sir Aaron not able to get the burst off, and Hippo just using the mobility of the minion waves and the timings to take advantage. Is able to get a couple of components, but we did see the Greaves actually grabbed from the side of Sir Aaron, just to make sure. Appreciate you. 1 minute to go on Dragon as well, and vision advantage. Probably, I'm going to say on the side of No Reply, especially on that Dragon side, they've got 2 vision wards.
Take a look at it. Yeah, they could have 2 control wards. Yeah, they got the 2 control wards. It's really just that though, but I think they're moving into it right now, so they're going to be able to pick up some more control on it.
Yeah, Sir Aaron almost goes down again to Hippo. Hippo's just, once he's red in his eyes, yeah, he just keeps going. But Spurg jumping in, gets a hit onto Talon, gets the double bounce. IREP, doesn't hit anybody. Jerks exhausted. The rest of the team is there. Passive gets popped on the side of Spurg. Teague getting the counter engage. Turret goes down in the top side while all of that was happening. Talon getting credit for the kill onto the Zac. So just as I had said, what a great setup for No Reply. An over-aggressive fight into the counter engage. It really seems like the aggressor is just getting punished in this game too.
Yeah, that was not a good, that was a rough engage either way, because I think that Tasty Crab Legs will end up getting Dragon off of that, because Zac is going to be respawning right now, and the Dragon is spawning in 4 seconds, so...
Yeah, Dragon's live, they're doing it, and yeah, we had mentioned before, they usually will find a spot, and it looks like a little bit more patience. As you see, Hippo even walks down. That's how confident he is. He just walked down from the top side, pushed the wave in. It will allow Sir Aaron to get a little bit of extra farm, but if you look at that buy from Hippo, the Giga Ego Bork buy, he wants to just duel, and try to get a couple more of those solo kills, and just make it so that Sir Aaron cannot impact the map at all.
Yeah, I think the way Sir Aaron has to go about fighting this Yasuo is he has to stop jumping on him when he's in waves. He has to kill the wave, and then he has to jump on the Zac, or on the Yasuo. Because when he's jumping on him, when he's in the wave, I mean, Yasuo is just spinning around, going all over the place, and he's just not able to get the E.
Yeah, and we see a fight going down in a 1v2, and Spurg is here. Comes in right at the last second. The rest of the team is here. Talon trying to get the kill. Sir Aaron low, but not down. As we see, Bushling just misses. I could not tell if that was a visual bug or if that was actually blocked by Windwall. It was pretty close either way. I don't think anybody was in the vicinity, and so both teams decide, all right, walk away. We fought, we burned some stuff. It's 18 minutes, let's chill. But pretty big gold lead on the side of No Reply. 2 Dragons to 1 in favor of Tasty Crab Legs. This game still very winnable from both sides, depending upon how the next couple of fights go.
Yeah, and Jax did just pick up his Triforce. It's a bit delayed. I believe he's the last, no, he's the second to last person to get their full completed item, only behind the Sejuani, who is sitting on the gold to buy her item as well, which is not what you like to see when you're playing Jax. It's pretty rough when you get a late game Triforce. Or not late game, but like this late Triforce. It's a lot of champs generally just need to get Triforce pretty early to be relevant.
Yeah, absolutely. That 10 to 15 minute Triforce is so crucial. As we're approaching the 19-minute mark, we're almost at the magical 20 to 25-minute mark, where it seems like Tasty Crab Legs typically decides, hey, let's go win the game. We see IREP and Teague hovering around. There are 2 outer turrets still alive. We see Pekko and Abarn both with teleports up able to do that. But we do see in the top side scuttle control in favor of No Reply. They're doing a great job of making sure that they have good vision. Those two control wards are still sitting there in that bot side, and if you look at the top side, they also have great vision on both sides of the river. So great, much stronger vision coverage on the side of No Reply as Tasty Crab Legs attempts to try to take down that middle outer. But yeah, middle outer and bot outer still up for No Reply, and that is really stopping a lot of the pushes that Tasty Crab Legs wants to make.
Yeah, during that, while you were talking, the Syndra and Azir did also just get into a 1v1 in bot lane, and they basically both just dumped their R's on each other and then walked away. But nothing came from it. But they've got their ults down, so maybe if something happens in the next minute, I think Syndra's is going to be up sooner than Azir's will.
Yeah, and I'd say Syndra's is probably a little bit scared. Azir definitely having the push advantage. So Sir Aaron getting a stun down, getting some good pop, dodges the tornado, and that's kind of what you were talking about. Spurg actually coming in. Okay. John goes in, bounces around. Sir Aaron is handling the mini-wave, but yeah, we see a teleport rolling in. Sejuani ult is popped. Spurg going
Yeah, the Azir
low.
doesn't have ult for this.
Yeah, and I believe Spurg's passive is down as well. No tower to protect them, so this is just going to be a full chase down from the ice siblings, Sejuani and Braum. They're going to walk away, not able to put the Freljordian chill onto them, and Jerks is going to swing down that bot mid-outer, trying to knock that one down. Getting that mid-outer down is so crucial to opening up the map and the opportunity for the enemy jungle as Hippo pushes his way through, potentially a little overextended. Stun goes down, gonna try to bouncy house, flashes out, does not have the mini wave, but does get the flash, is able to get out. Teleport, meanwhile, on the side of No Reply to try to defend this. Pekko coming back in, and it looks like they really want this mid-outer. As we see, Emperor's Divide is popped. Jerks goes low, Jerks goes down. Talon getting credit for that kill. It's decided that the I win button has been pressed from Tasty Crab Legs. Great shuffle from Avarn, able to split the team and kill the bot lane. Crucial shutdown going to Talon from Jerks.
Yeah, that was a shame. That Jerks tried to flash out of the Azir ult, but it just caught him anyway, and then he was dead at that point. There was no way for him to get out. They do just get Azir's flash, though, off of a Zac engage that got blocked, I think.
Yeah, they do, and they actually get a return kill onto Ireb. Avarn also dying, so a couple of those longer fights, maybe a little bit of overlingering, although Pekko killed him under his tower, so I don't know if you could call that an overlinger. So bot lane goes down, shut down to Talon, but then Avarn and Ireb, and more crucially, the mid-outer, I don't know why I keep calling it bot-outer, the mid-outer 22 minutes in favor of No Reply. Baron is up. They are probably going to try to clear this thing out. The control ward is there. Yep, they see it. They're going to get rid of that one. Yeah, they're going to just go straight for this Baron. Holy aggressive play. They're going to trade, it looks like they're just going to trade Dragon for Baron. They've got a pretty fast Baron team.
Yeah, the Yasuo is just staying bot. I don't even know if they know. I don't think they do. I think they're
I don't think they do.
Because yeah, they're just taking it. No one on Tasty Crab Legs is even like moving towards it. Yasuo is just shoving bot lane. I think they think they're just like recalled or something.
Yeah, well, I will say on the side of Tasty Crab Legs might have been a calculated risk where they're going to grab the grab mid outer, or excuse me, grab bot inner, grab soul point in exchange for Baron, and maybe have a confidence that they can wait out this Baron, grab the soul, and then try to team fight for it. But looking at the game state, 22.5 minutes in, 4,000 gold lead has held for No Reply. They haven't really cracked the game open quite yet, but with this Baron power play, they could definitely do it.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to be seeing a 4K. It's at 4K gold lead at this point, though. They had to push it more because I mean, Draven is most of their gold lead, and he hasn't been able to get anything in the past like 10 minutes. He's just been kind of stagnated in mid lane farming, which you don't really want to be doing as Draven. You want to be forcing fights and getting kills on him because I mean that's his whole job, is just kill everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, what are your Diamond Eyes see at this point? Because it looks like they're slowing things down a little bit. Of course, the moment I say that, they're probably going to go fight. What are you seeing here?
I think that No Reply has to put the pedal on the metal. They got to do something. Right now, they are just sitting in mid lane watching the enemy team farm waves. They're gonna get top turret off of Jax, but Jax might also just take a lot of damage. It'll depend, but but they gotta force engages. They gotta do something because they're going to get outscaled. They don't have they are on a clock in this game. The Azir is going to outscale them unless this Syndra is able to just like insta evaporate Azir from every single team fight. Like they are on a clock.
Yeah, and you're already seeing the limitations of the Syndra pick. Bush League just like desperately going fishing, trying to make something happen. The knockup does go down onto Pain Pekko. Abarn is now there as well. Talon on a killing spree, and Bush League pays for his aggression. It sounds like he heard you, just trying to make something happen. But already,
maybe a bit too aggressive that one, but yeah.
No, I mean, fair enough, but Hippo is there, going for the flank onto the squishy, low mobility carries. Does drop the wind wall, forcing Pekko to wait his turn. IREP going, but while that's happening, once again, splitting of the teams from Tasty Crab Legs.
The Yasuo just
going down again.
The Yasuo just went for a 1v3, put up a wind wall, and then no reply, literally couldn't do anything to them. Syndra, Draven, and Jax just could not do anything to him in a 3v1 because wind wall was put up and that was it. He just walked out after.
Yep.
And you do not want to be seeing that.
Geometry, that's how they say it. But yeah, they Hippo just completely shutting down, and you had mentioned it before in Champions, like Braum and Yasuo with two key abilities to just stop a lot of their damage, not all of it, but a lot of their damage in its tracks.
Yeah, I think a lot of this game is contingent on if Syndra can take someone out and if Draven can survive a fight. And it's going to be really hard for Syndra to take someone out through Wind Wall and Braum Shield. Like, I mean, if you're jumping your ult onto Abarn, onto Azir, and then it gets blocked by Braumi, I mean, the fight could just be over off that alone. Because, I mean, what else do you have to kill the Azir at that point?
Yeah, you really don't. And the Azir just once again going to be swinging freely behind all of his walls. 25 minutes in, the gold lead has slightly shrunk, and I'm going to call it out again. About minute 30 to go on Soul Point Dragon. The Baron, I think all they really got for it was the mid-outer turret, and they lost a lot more than they probably would have wanted to, especially with a couple of those key shutdowns.
Yeah, they ended up getting a top outer, and they might have got they already had mid outer. It was just
they got top outer,
and then a couple deaths on their
they got mid outer for it.
They did get mid outer. Okay, so they got two turrets, but it's just that's pretty rough when you're getting put on Soul Point. They got because they have to fight this. They I don't know if they're able to win if Tasty Crab Legs gets Soul. And I think they can fight it. I don't think they're outscaled at this point. I think they can fight. They just got to actually get an engage on someone that matters.
Or they need to do what they just did, which is bait out Emperor's Divide. It'll probably be up pretty soon, but if they can try to fight right now with Emperor's Divide down, one of the key tools to protect Azir, you had mentioned before, Azir farming up a Storm 230 at 26 minutes, got the items that he's looking for, 2.5 big damage dealers. But yeah, that wind wall placement and the Braum Shield placement are going to be crucial just to keep Abarn alive. Talon also a big threat, and just the degree of difficulty of locking one or both of these pretty mobile carries down, it's going to be a tough one.
Yeah, and surprisingly, Spurg just recall. I mean, he got chunked out, and the Azir will not be back up for probably like 30 seconds after Dragon spawns. That was good, but Spurg getting chunked out and having to recall was pretty rough. The Jax is splitting and is going to get top turret. There's not going to be a reply from that. I would say if I was Jax, just TP to Dragon right now. Like back off, get out of range of Azir, and just TP to Dragon. But we'll see what he does.
He's hovering. It looks like they might be having that conversation. Because there goes the TP. Oh my god, Sir Aaron doesn't see it. No, he doesn't see it. He's not able to stop the TP. So this is a huge advantage. Yeah.
He failed a flash. He tried to flash over the wall and E, but he messed it up. And, yeah.
Oof. That's a big old oof. Yeah, I didn't see, actually. I just saw it on the mini-map. Because it looked like he was trying to... it looked like he was trying to do something, but it's a fail flash. Sad day for Sir Aaron, and that's going to be Soul for Tasty Crab Legs. Just kind of stalling the game out and setting themselves up for that nice scaling. And they've got... they've got exactly what they want as they see Zero comes in. Teleport coming down in response to this. Jerks is about half health at this point, but already one person down on the side of no reply, and immediate cancellation of the elastic slingshot, and we are on the chase. Rest of the team trying to go. The mid-outer is still up for no reply, so credit to them for keeping one of those key bastions up, but this looks like it's just going to be an uncontested Baron. I mean, it'll probably be contested. Hippo and Spurg are just slapping at each other, but I think Hippo's going to be doing A-okay on this one as he just starts beating the crap out of him. I don't know if Spurg's going to be able to get away from this. I don't believe he has his passive. Does do the Let's Bounce. Depth Charge goes down, but while that's happening, the TCL Classic, one person
Yeah, give
distracts the
Baron for
entire
one player.
team, chases them away while they get Baron for free. So Tasty Crab Legs flipping game 2 on its head. They got Soul, they got Baron, and they are in the driver's seat as we're approaching the 29-minute mark because they got that mid-outer. It has been taunting them for far too long, and it is definitely going down.
Yeah, I don't think they can defend it much longer. I mean, Draven did just take a chunk out of Lucian, but there's an Ocean Soul, and there's no anti-heal. Oh no, there's a Bramble Vest on Zac now, but that's the only anti-heal on No Reply, and it's going to be really rough to puncture through all these stats at this point with some of these champions.
Yeah, and a very short-range team on the side of No Reply, so they really have to put themselves in the danger zone in order to do anything that they want to do. So here comes Stream of Shuffle going in, big Hippogriff grab, a stun on, but Pekko's on a rampage, Talon's free swinging in the back. So we've got a 2-for-1 actually, however, in favor of No Reply. Pekko is just swinging again from the back line. Abarn finally knocking Sir Aaron down, and then Talon, IREP, and Teague are just staying alive as much as they can. Pekko goes down, but the stun immediately. Pekko somehow survives, gets out Teague, flashing over the wall, trying to knock Spurg out. Spurg gets the elastic slingshot to get out of there, but Talon is in the fight till 2-for-2. Pekko is low. Pekko, you got to be careful, man. Spurg getting away. Mid-inner goes down, and so that is just a chaotic fight, but ultimately in favor of Tasty Crab Leg on the back of Talon just somehow staying alive in that fight.
Yeah, he was down to like 100 HP, and now he's back at full health, literally just off of Ocean Soul. It's like if they didn't have Ocean Soul, that fight would have been lost way harder for Tasty Crab Legs. They would have not, like, that Lucian would not have healed up and would have just probably died if he tried to auto attack one more time.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Tasty Crab Legs, a little bit of an itchy trigger finger from Hippo. Hippo kind of locking the key carries in place after a great Shurima shuffle. So the carry's still safe under their turret despite being locked up, requiring a little bit more aggression from Tasty Crab Legs than they probably would have wanted. And Pekko showing the power of that Syndra, getting a couple of massive stuns off. But once again, the fight was incredibly long, and Talon he had to have gotten at least 4 different rotations off from the Lucian, and he is just continuing to roll. Sir Aaron trying to go in, elastic slingshot drops, the flank fails, and that is a locked up and dead Jax. Unstoppable Talon continuing to make this Lucian pick sing. 31 minutes in, Tasty Crab Legs knocking on the door. Another turret goes down, big stun from Pekko. Talon goes down to about half health, but the team too short range, cannot respond. Another Shurima shuffle. This one lands home. Abarn dying. Talon surviving again somehow. Waiting for his rotations to come back up. But Pekko, this time, able to push through. Double kill going down. Teague's just going to try to stall at this point. We get the thumbs up because while all that was happening, Hippo snagging the inhibitor, doing the reverse Tasty Crab Legs, where the team distracts the enemy team while Hippo takes the objective. So the base is broken for No Reply.
Yeah, this Syndra is really strong, but everything else on the team is just not able to hold out against it. The gold is somehow even, surprisingly. I actually didn't notice that, but it's looking really rough for No Reply. Just this Ocean Soul, like, Lucian has gotten out of fights 2 times with 100 health and just gets to walk away, or in that last fight continue for a while, and he needs to be getting taken down. He's sitting on a massive shutdown, and if that could go on to Syndra or Jax or Draven even, it's like that would change so much for all 3 of them. But there is an Elder Soul coming up in a minute. We will see if there will be a classic TCL Elder flip. I've never had that happen in any of my games. Never.
Never.
Yeah, never. It's never happened. We definitely didn't almost lose a game off of an Elder Soul flip.
No way. Absolutely not. Yeah, never happens. It's
never
just the memory of a goldfish. But yeah, we do see a brush stack on the side of No Reply. They're gonna try to go for it. Yeah, they're all there. Here we go. A ton of damage being popped down. Jerks drops ulti. Ulti gets completely blocked by the wind wall, and now No Reply. They had the element of surprise, but with one wind wall, just ignores the ulti, and they don't really care.
Syndra does still have her ult, but yeah,
she does. She gets Hippo chunked down, but she pays for it with her life. Shurima Shuffle just a little bit late, but Emperor's Divide, more to secure maybe a little bit of style points. And yeah, Tasty Crab Legs. Sir Aaron again on, actually was on the wrong side. Got a great stun off 3 people, and Sir Aaron is now free swinging. They need to kill A-Barn as soon as possible because he is just swinging away. Sir Aaron, yep, going again. Jerks is low, not quite dead yet. Trying to survive, does finally go down, but Sir Aaron finally having the fight that he was looking for. Unfortunately, the dragon had aggro on him, so now we've got 2 beefy boys versus 2 beefy boys, and it looks like the Freljord kids are gonna take this one out. Wow, that was just a weird fight. Unfortunately, Peko getting popped before it started, and so Tasty Crab Legs, I believe, really getting away with it on this one.
Syndra might be able to TP in if the Zac is still alive.
This is the slowest. Wow, Spurg! Oh my god!
The Zac just has so much healing, yeah. And Syndra, yeah.
You gotta be kidding me. I thought
they
he
just
was
weren't. They had to
for
be
sure.
stepping on his blobs. That was literally a like, if you're a top laner, you just you just have to step on all of the blobs. But neither of those players were tops, so they must have not known. Gotta love Zac though. That healing is absurd. Oh, there's a Yasuo in the base, by the way.
Yeah, so while that was happening, Hippo grabbed a Nexus turret. So Peko and Spurg trying to knock this one out, but the auto attackers are not there. Talon, however, is there. He's going to go in and try to grab it. No, Spurg actually secures it, so we do have no reply with the Elder Soul. Big pickup for them, staying alive in this game. We're at 60,000 gold per. So gold and the items, I'm trying to see, it looks like only the junglers haven't quite finished off their pick, but yeah, crucially, mid inhibitor turret, the base in absolute shambles for no reply, and the base for Tasty Crab Legs very much intact.
The Syndra just got her Crypt Bloom as well, so she's got M-Pen. If she blows a combo on Sejuani or Braum, they're going to take a lot of damage, even without her ult. Like, they're going to probably take like 1,000 to 2,000 damage. So she's a threat at this point.
Yeah, and that's going to be crucial. We're going to have to see where those defensive cooldowns in terms of the Braum shield as well as the Wind Ball go. When they're working. And Sir Aaron, I want to see another great flank from him. Seems like he was a little bit early on the flanks, but that when he was able to get that incredible stun off, they were able to isolate A-Barn out of the fight, and it looks like, yeah, they're looking for the same thing. Sir Aaron hovering around, but with his team now, and Tasty Crab Legs is just completely on the run. It looks like they do not want this fight.
They should go to Baron. Red should go to Baron right now. Blue is all just in bot jungle. Just go to Baron, force them to come stop you, and you just win the fight.
I think they're gonna go try to take the inhibitor if they do that, and that seems to be
they had to do it like right when they just started walking, but they were too late at this point. It's too late.
Yeah, well, a little bit of indecisiveness because one last fight could make it, and I'm seeing a couple of pings down onto the middle inhibitor as Teague is actually hovering in the shadows. Teague's just gonna roll up as this Baron. They're gonna trade inhibitor for Baron as the rest of the team is down.
I think that's the best you're gonna get. You gotta get this and immediately recall though, because the wave is coming, but they don't have a wave right now, so they can't get any more than the inhib. But I mean, they'll get the second inhib. No, they won't get the second inhib. They're backing out.
Yeah, so I'm sure there's some economic theory around trading the Baron for the inhibitor. Top inhibitor has respawned. Mid inhibitor is down. Not the inhibitor you want to lose. And my understanding is that inhibitors are pretty brutal to lose just because they really force direct action, although the Baron does help stop the damage a little bit.
It's not really awful for them just because they have a Syndra. Like, she blows up waves. You're not going to really be able to shove into down mid lane with Syndra there unless you have a Baron. And they obviously don't have a Baron, so it's gonna this inhib shouldn't matter unless the game ends in the next 5 minutes.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty good bet that the game's going to end in the next 5 minutes. We're going to have one more team fight, and that's probably going to call it. Looking at next major objectives, there's not a lot happening.
Yeah.
We've got Dragon in about 3 minutes. Baron just popped. So, yeah, I mean, I think we're probably going to see a lot of slow pushing out. That bot inhibitor turret crucially still up for no reply, and they are making sure that they take full advantage of this Baron, pushing this mid wave in while Sir Aaron pushes down the top wave. He is definitely online, 3.5 items, full builds finished for, actually, I'm trying to see if there are any full builds on anybody. I don't see any so far. I think it's Pekko.
Syndra is very close.
Yeah, Pekko's
and
real close.
Azir as well. Azir just has to get Merlo. Does anyone know if Yuntal is good on Draven? Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if that's a good item on Draven. I don't see anyone build that item, so I don't know if it's good.
Yeah.
But
well, what would it? Yeah, let's talk about that. Like, talk about that choice and how it could.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I mean, I unironically do not see like any people build Yuntals with wild arrows. Like, I don't know if it's a bad item or if there's better items. But on Draven, it definitely seems weird. I feel like he needs like honestly a Guardian Angel.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely, considering how fast he's getting popped, he probably does just the sustain, just trying to stall for his team because his team wants that longer fight. Oh my god, Pekko is just an absolute sniper with these stuns, nailing Talon twice in this flash out from Jerks. Jerks isolated from the team. Yasuo only hits one, does not matter, just absolutely melting. Pekko still alive, but the flash out is able to keep him going. Spurg passive is popped. He's going to go down as well. So that's going to be a 3-for-1 in favor of Tasty Crab Legs. The shutdown going onto Talon, and we see the immediate teleport into the bot side. They want to go get this inhibitor turret. Pekko is there and will be able to defend, but the rest of the team is running, and these death timers are long.
I don't think the game's going to end. I think the Syndra's able to...
Oh, that's a big grab, and that's going to be a bonk onto Abar, and Sir Aaron getting the credit. That is big for them. Let's see what they can do. Pekko has just had Talon's number in terms of nailing these stuns, and if Sir Aaron can time things correctly, doesn't make that one crucially, but there he goes. Sir Aaron able to get both carries coast to coast. Stops the push. The inhibitor turret Nexus turret still up, and Sir Aaron is swinging away. That's going to be a double kill for Pekko.
That is
keeping things alive on his favorite pocket pick. Great play from those two.
That is both of the carries on Tasty Crab Legs down when Elder Soul is spawning as well. It spawns in 40 seconds.
Yep, that's a big one, and this is going to be a pretty fast take. Sir Aaron trying to keep things going against Teak. He's like, you know what? I went 2 for 2 on carries. I'm going to try to take Smite off the table, and he's just going to keep chasing him down. So Sir Aaron, you just got to be careful. Make sure you're not tunneling too hard on this. As we see, Blast Cone is popped. Hippo is there. Pekko is there too, and there goes Smite. So this is going to be a relatively uncontested second Elder Soul for... No reply as this game is going the distance. Here comes the Elder.
Yeah, hopefully there isn't some magical steal. It should just go to no reply. The only thing they have to really worry about is the Azir poke over the wall, but I think they kill it before he even gets there.
Oh, well, no, they certainly didn't. He is definitely there, so they need to make sure they land that smite. They do. Great secure from them. No reply, despite with their backs to the wall. Inhibitor after inhibitor going down. Their base basically being one really quick teleport away from dying. Some heroics from Pekko and Sir Aaron. And we are into this late game. 41 minutes in. We got 71,000 gold. Builds are finishing. Let's go. Let's have that one big fight, and let's see who wins.
Yeah, I think you've gotta, if you're no reply, you gotta just make sure that Syndra's alive. If Syndra's alive, you win the fight at this point. I underestimated the amount of damage that champion was gonna deal this game. She is one-shotting pretty much everyone.
Yeah, she is just absolutely obliterating on this one, and Sir Aaron just needs to be really careful. He already got chunked out, and when he is finding his flanks and finding his stuns, they're winning these fights. He needs to not be too aggressive. He needs to be smart with his positioning, and they're kind of getting him... they're kind of trying to see if they can just get him out of this fight. He's already half health, and the rest of his team is kind of slow pushing up, looking at the wave state across the way. Top, I believe, yeah, pushing in favor of no reply bot. They've got a bit of a stack going on. Hippo's actually going there. He does have teleport up, so he's going to be able to apply some pressure on the bot side. So if no reply wants to go, they need to pull the trigger now. They have the power advantage.
They need to, if they aren't going to engage, they have to at the very least go get, like, back off and get Baron. But I don't know if they should be doing that if they aren't going to get kills. I will say it's very hard for them to get an engage. Their engage is not particularly good into this team, just because like Not can't easily get a hook.
No, and there's a lot of blockages right here. They need to deal with Hippo. It looks like Sir Aaron is going back to deal with him. He's gonna be able to break the base, break the final turret for this inhibitor on the front end. So we're gonna see it engage. Pekko's unstoppable, knocks A-Barn down. The turret is going down as well. Meanwhile, Sir Aaron fighting Hippo. Hippo tunneling on the inhibitor. He goes down. Oh my God, we're gonna potentially go to a game 3. We see 2 down. Middle inhibitors going down. Dead A-Barn, dead Hippo. Looks like it's going to be a dead Nexus coming up, barring a monumental throw. There it is. Talons down. We're going game 3, folks. Let's go.
Yeah, Azir died to a QW from full health to on Syndra. That was it. Yeah. That was all he got hit by. Well, I guess E as well, but QEW and died from full health.
Yeah, godlike goes Pekko. Syndra, his favorite champion, No Reply's favorite champion. It took pretty much the entire map and a long time, but they got it, folks. Roll the scrapes. We're going to game 3.
Yeah, that was Draven carried them through the early game so that Syndra could take it home. That was pretty much how that game went.
Yeah. I couldn't have summed it up better for myself. Really incredible play. Love No Reply. Never saying die. Pekko going absolutely bananas.
Damage.
Just
Holy.
so much Syndra damage. 70k and change over the course of that 43-minute game. We are going to take a very, very short break, folks. Let's roll the scrapes, Rick. Let's go to game 3. Let's see who's got it in this week 5. Don't go anywhere. Alrighty, we are live. Hello, everybody. Game 3. Let's go. Run those scrapes. Big shout out to Microscopic Rick putting out fires and just being an awesome dude. Even giving me my 5-second countdown like the diva I am. Appreciate you, man. Great job on the night. We are into game 3, Lyle. Casters are R. Production is R. Players are spamming go, go, go. We're going to go right back into Champion Select. And it looks like TC Crablegs opting for the blue side. But yeah, we're talking about, like, there's no way they're giving the Syndra up.
Yeah, so they've got blue side. I think Syndra has to get banned. That was a absurd Syndra 1v3, or not 1v3, 1v9. That essentially was a Syndra just picking off people every single team fight and killing. And it's, I don't know, like, I don't know if blue side is what TCL wants. Like, I don't know which team had side selection in this game, but like I don't think Sejuani first pick is like a crazy first pick. Like, I think you got to get more power than a Sejuani in your first pick on blue side.
Yeah.
But
I know,
we'll
I completely agree. Apologies if I'm a little distracted. My cat has just decided to start vomiting everywhere because she has a hairball, and it's the summer. So yeah, I'm just a little distracted because I'm trying to make sure she doesn't vomit on my keyboard. Just a hairball, folks. She's fine. She's just old and has long hair, so she gets a lot of hairballs.
It's
anyway, I completely agree. Yes,
yeah.
Sejuani was definitely problematic, you know, to say the least, but it looks like they're largely
it's
gonna
the same
stick
bands.
with where they're sticking with the same stuff they've been sticking with. And it could be another guy, but yeah, it looks like they're just gonna run it back. That game was really close. I don't know about that though.
Yeah, my opinion is I don't see what the reason to ban Leona is if you aren't taking Nautilus away as well from this team. You're just giving him, he's gonna pick the other one if you ban one of them, unless you just want to be playing against Nautilus. But like, I mean, why not just pick Nautilus there and then get a better, like you get a counter pick on the support, or I mean, no, you don't get a counter pick. You steal away his support, and he's gonna go either Zyra, Rakan, or Braum. Maybe that's like the only 3 other champions in his pool. So if you take away Naut, with that B1 pick, I mean, his pool is massively shrunk, and he's playing a champion he's significantly worse at.
And Teague doesn't really need the Teague.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Spurg is gonna steal it. Yeah.
No, I don't either. And they're both junglers have been playing incredibly well. They've been doing what they want to do, and there hasn't really been too much of a back and forth. And you know, I had mentioned this before. Teague does a lot of cool stuff, and I'm actually kind of surprised to see him on the Sejuani versus, I think we saw him on the Gragas a little bit, which was really interesting. I always love seeing a good Gragas player, and I think he was pretty solid on Gragas, so I don't know. Yeah. But we got the Braum grab. I wonder if they're just going to salty run back this thing.
Oh, there is a difference.
Ignore the hover. Trust me. They like to do things. Yeah.
I think R3 is going to be Syndra. I feel like Syndra's way more important than Draven. But they just to save it from the ban, but they might take the Draven just to Because I think Jerks is a bit worse on other champions than he is on Draven, so they might want to save the Draven and just have the winning bot lane. But I don't know if the Draven is going to carry the game, because I mean, it didn't. Once it got through early game, it really didn't impact the game much more in after the early. Like I think he got one more kill after the first kill, the first 4 kills last game. So yeah, they are going to take the Syndra R3.
Yeah, and I mean the Syndra was the game changer. So you did mention Jerks, a little bit of a lower skill level on not Draven. That is always the challenge when you're so specialized and so good at one champion. You have all that muscle memory, and that doesn't always translate into other picks. With ADs, maybe not, but Draven's one of those champions. He just kind of does a lot of stuff differently than every other carry. But yeah, 70,000 damage doesn't lie, and Pekka was just an absolute sniper. Still going to have to deal with the Braum. May not have to deal with the Wind Wall, depending upon what they choose to do. But the Aurelia ban, I believe the Aurelia ban was the same last time.
Yes.
Urgot ban, I'm going to expect the same bans. Sir Aaron kind of got away with it later. You know, they kind of let him get where he needed to go, but he really struggled in that first 20-30 minutes.
These are if Sat gets banned here, these are the same bans as last game.
Yeah.
If Draven gets banned, that's the only change from last game.
They may.
And I think if they don't ban Draven, it just gets picked, and then Surin gets counterpick on whatever he wants.
Yeah, we'll have to see. They're definitely talking about it. So they're definitely talking about, do we stick with the same top lane bans, or do we go with something different? Okay. There's the Draven ban. You called it. That's the first major deviation that we've seen from this strategy. It's been basically a run back, instant Ashe pick. I love that pick.
Yeah, that's really a very good pick. My team, we've been picking that champion so much. She's so strong right now, but I mean, that champion, if you hit an R, that player is dying to Syndra. Like, if the Syndra is ahead, they're gone. Like, Syndra doesn't even have to hit the QE anymore. They just evaporate when they get hit by an Ashel. So, yeah, we are going to see, I think, the first 3 were all the same, but I think we're going to get different changes in the last 3. Orianna, obviously.
And the deviation from the Azir, Syndra... I remember back in the day, Syndra really had Ori's number, but with some of the scaling changes and some of the kit changes, I don't think that's as much of the case anymore.
It's definitely Orianna favored early. Orianna's a lane bully. I believe she's one of the strongest lane bullies in mid lane right now. And
yes, the auto attacks are just beast mode. Yeah,
and
also I always forget that the Syndra Q got nerfed so hard with the rework. Where before it was like Syndra was one of my favorite champions mid lane because you just land Qs.
Oh my god!
Beat the crap out of them.
Please.
Oh, your favorite! I hope they lock. I wonder if they're doing it just for you.
It's so rough for Set. It's so bad for Set. Like, I'm not even joking. That's one of Set's worst matchups.
Yeah, I think he was doing the hover for you, Lyle. We'll have to see, but it's Aatrox. Aatrox wins this straight up against Set.
Yeah.
So I actually like this for Hippo. I don't know if I like Aatrox as a champion on Hippo, but I do. On Sir Aaron. But I do like it in the matchup because Set has the worst day against Aatrox.
So if Sir Aaron builds like Sterak's Gauge and Merc Treads, and maybe even takes the Tenacity rune, not Legend Tenacity because that got removed, but like the little Tenacity shard.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be really hard for them to kill him because, I mean, they've got Orianna, who's burst damage and shouldn't be dumping it on Aatrox either way. Xayah, who's like the only sustained damage, and Set, who's got his W, and that's pretty much it. And then Braum and Sej aren't doing much damage. And, I mean, Aatrox autos 2 times with Sundered Sky up and his ult, and he heals to full health. So, because they changed him. I don't know if you were aware on the current patch. They've given him a pseudo rework to get him off of the lethality builds that he was going earlier in the year. He is now, Aatrox. Yeah, they basically what they did is they moved all of the healing that he gets in his kit to it scales with his bonus health now. So pretty much if he gets Sundered Sky and he clicks R and auto attacks you, his health bar goes to full health. And it's like he gets more healing off of his E passive now instead of his and like Sundered Sky. He's not supposed to go lethality. I think lethality still might exist, but his stronger build is now the Bruiser build, and they've pretty much killed the lethality build.
Yeah, I mean the lethality build was pretty ridiculous if you think about it. Like the
agree.
ability to I land a halfway difficult skill shot and nuke someone.
I wouldn't even call it halfway. That thing has like 5-second cooldown.
Yeah, it's also and the hitbox is very, very generous. So if you land it properly, you just blow people up. But
That
yeah,
champ,
the Aatrox, the set definitely has a couple of early windows in order to beat the crap out of Aatrox. But once Aatrox gets to that level 9 spot, set just can't do anything. He can't walk into the wave. He can't try to set up a stun. There's just the range differential that Aatrox has against the set. And we've been talking a lot about that matchup, that Sir Aaron versus Hippo matchup. I will say Hippo's had Sir Aaron's number pretty much straight through. And so
yeah.
even in a disadvantaged matchup, Hippo has really shown his maturity this season in being a lot more patient with picking his spots and not just like going ooga booga, I'm going to fight you, which is what he's done in previous seasons.
Yeah, I mean, it's this matchup top. It's going to be favored for Aatrox until Set gets Stridebreaker. Then it kind of becomes sort of even, but also at that point, they're pretty much never going to kill each other unless one of them has an insane lead on the other, because Aatrox can just dash out of Set's W, and Set can just walk away from Aatrox. So
Yep.
it's like at a certain point, it's not going to matter anymore. But the early game, Set's pretty much only window is if he hits an E and like is able to somehow land a true damage W on him as well.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah,
That's going to be a tough one. And loving seeing the Zach in the jungle once again. And you mentioned it, the extra pick potential. We had talked about how hard it was for No Reply to start a fight in the last game. Ashe is basically a free fight starter, so
yeah,
it just makes it and on a fairly low cooldown also.
Yeah, it's also they only have one win wall this time, and Xayah and Orianna are lower range. Well, okay, Xayah isn't lower range than Lucian, but she's like similar range, and Lucian has a dash, and also Azir is obviously way longer range than Orianna. So it's like if they go up and try to look for something, if they get sniped in the face by an arrow, like they just die. Like Syndra just deletes them. So yeah.
Absolutely. So as we're loading in, who do you think is going to take this one? Decisive game 3.
I think that No Reply might have it with if this Syndra pulls out a similar like stat line as the last game. I don't think that Tasty Crab Legs can do it, and that's literally because like they have better engage than they had last game, and No Reply has worse engage than they had last game. So it's like they have to like the only way for them to get onto Syndra now is Orianna ball and ult, and Syndra ult, or not Syndra ult, Sejuani ult. Set isn't gonna ever get anything off of that. I mean, Set's not even gonna be able to walk into Syndra. Xayah's not an engaged champion, and Braum is like doesn't have flash, so he's never gonna get anything. Like he might hit a Q and like maybe an ult, but it's not gonna be like it's gonna be hard to hit stuff for Braum onto Syndra.
Yeah, I completely agree. Yeah, I think I'm leaning No Reply as well. I just think ironically, by banning the Draven, they gave the utility that No Reply needed and would have needed in that last game. So it's almost like they took away. Jerks is like, well, I can't play Draven, so what should I play? And so for the team, it's great. Yeah,
you go from like one of like the middle of the pack ADCs on the current patch to the second best ADC on the patch, and you're like, oh wow, what a shame. Yep. It will depend also. Like, I mean, if Jerks is missing arrows, then I mean, it's gonna be irrelevant. He's not gonna do much. I think his damage is gonna be not great this game because of the comp the enemy team has. But if he's hitting arrows, I mean, he doesn't need to deal damage. Syndra will just blow up wherever he hits.
And they also have Sir Aaron for the damage. So yeah, I did want to give a call out just to kind of keep this rivalry going. Hippo is actually ahead of Sir Aaron in all major individual categories in the top lane. So how he's done against Sir Aaron is actually reflected in some of these stats. But we are into this, folks. Bottom to top, both junglers, 5 point, hanging out. See you later. Stun, actually early stun going down from Hippo onto Sir Aaron. Trading as we would expect. But looking on the side of the bottom, couple of hits. Jerk's gonna kind of tie away. I believe the slow push going in favor of Talon and IREP. But Bush League has brush control. Nice juke from IREP. Can't stop it. But Hippo and Sir Aaron are just going for it, and they need to be Sir Aaron needs to be really careful because Hippo level 1, level 2. Sir Aaron needs to stop getting hit by these stuns.
Yeah, I mean, he shouldn't even be looking for fights until like level 4 against Set. Like, obviously, we were saying how much stronger Set is into Aatrox early, or like how good Aatrox is into Set early or later.
Like level 3. I think he wins the level 3, and then once Aatrox, and then Aatrox just like scales just outscales him if he doesn't.
Yeah. And
Yeah, well
I'm
early.
gonna say First Blood is gonna be someone top lane, Nomad in chat, because I mean both junglers are moving towards it as well.
Yeah, it looks like it might be Hippo, although Teague is there. Great flash out from Sir Aaron. Spidey senses were tingling, but a crucial flash blown. Spurg a little bit behind on the side of... actually, sorry, not behind. Teague actually ignored his buff in order to try to get that early gank off. So Spurg is going to have double buff. Sir Aaron going low, does not have flash. There's first blood. Lyle, you called it. Teague grabbing that first blood, and Sir Aaron getting like behind. That's not great. Spurg, however, I did mention he does have that double buff. Teague is incredibly low, doesn't have the same level of sustain that Zach does, trying to burn him down. Hippo cancels his auto. He's just going to walk away.
The Aatrox is down a lot of farm off of that, and
yeah, he
just,
is. Okay.
Like, it's... He greeted way too much for that. Spurg might lose his flash or his passive off of this as well. Oh, actually.
Oh, no, he's just going to turn back in. So now Hippo down his flash. He's going to back off teleport. So while Hippo does have the assist advantage, we did hear Ghost being popped from Talon. We do have a fight in the bottom side. Jerk's going low, one auto away from the stun. Not going to happen. Bush League does have the mark on him still. Hovering around. Decently large wave pushing in favor of Talon. So we see pretty even, but a lot of those skirmishes going on, and IREP doing a great job. It's been really fun seeing him on the Braum. He's been playing so well on this champion.
Yeah, the champ's pretty generally like pilot, like he's pretty pilotable. His champ never really has anything crazy going on. I mean, the most you're gonna do is W on a minion, but
yeah,
he just kind of stands there, chills. Is a wall. It's kind of, I mean, he's holding a wall, so it'd be weird if he wasn't.
Yep, and crucially, just as we saw that top lane engage, or the top lane fight, Hippo didn't land the stun. Big wave crashing in. So Sir Aaron back on track, it seems like, in that bot side, as we see Spurg going in. Instant flash out for Talon. Hook going on to IREP. Jerk's going to try to grab what he can, but not going to be able to do it. Going to walk away. So another gank attempt, trying to make it happen, but nothing quite yet from the Zac, despite a couple of aggressive plays. Even jungling, but definite advantage for Teague with that early kill. Probably would have liked it to go on Hippogriff, but hey, you take what you can get. As we see a pull, another not stun going down. Hippo and Sir Aaron, those
got out of the
are
W.
starting to hurt. Got out of range of the W, so the spacing advantage for Aatrox starting to pay dividends in this fight. And Hippo, we're at level 5, moving to level 6. This is where he's going to start that slow decline that all set players know way too well against Aatrox.
Yeah, I might as well mention though, he is like up a decent amount of money right now just because of Sir Aaron had one of those really depressing top lane backs where you die early and then you have like 100, 200 gold. Yep. You can't get a component, but you also can't get a, oh, there's a fight breaking out.
Yeah, there is. Jerks is going low. Gonna have to just be way more conservative. Ira trying to land a Q. Bush League doing his best to try to keep his carry safe, but Spurg is there gonna try to go for the counter engage as Talon and IREP just abuse the health advantage on Jerks. Jerks Ghost was blown. He's going to have to back off. Looks like it's going to be a bot lane reset on both sides. But we have that crucial level 6 coming up. Jerk's not quite level 6 yet. That first arrow is going to tell the tale. Could actually be a long-range mid-snape, or maybe see if we can get the Zac to finally convert a kill, because it seems like he's hovering around that bot side.
Yeah, I'd say go for a bot. Neither of them have flash, and the Xayah also just for some reason, I don't know why she didn't go cleanse. I actually just noticed that she had ghost, and I think this is a game that you had to go cleanse because you need it. If you get hit by even just a QE by Syndra, I mean, you're gonna die. And yeah, if you were able to ult, I mean, if you're able to cleanse ult, I don't think the Syndra ult hits you. I think maybe it does. No, maybe I'm wrong about
that. Sorry, what was the?
Maybe I'm wrong about that though.
I believe with I believe it's reactive, right? So if the Syndra snare, if the stun lands you cleanse it out. Yeah, that shouldn't be an issue because it's not as suppressed.
Well, no, I mean the like the balls that she shoots. I don't know if they target onto Because I don't think Zaya's.
Oh,
Zaya's
the
ult
ulti, the ulti. Yeah.
Yeah,
Once
the
ball's in
Zaya's
play,
ult takes her off the map, but I don't know if it makes sure like if
Oh,
it stops
it
the
does.
Syndra R.
Yes, it does,
does
because it ignores. Yeah, because once the animation of the balls have started, the animation will resolve. But if the target is off the map, the damage will not resolve. So the animation will go no matter what once the ult has started. But yeah, so there's some massive outplay potential on the side of Zaya. Great call out.
If she had cleanse, which she doesn't. So
No, her ulti. I'm talking about her ulti.
Oh yeah, if she if she doesn't get hit by the if she doesn't get hit by the stun.
Yes, exactly. But that's a good point, is that if she had cleanse, she could have cleansed out of the stun and then outplayed the Syndra burst. But because she does not have cleanse, she's going to have to invest in something in order to do that, which she could have done for free. And, you compare that to a ghost, maybe not.
Yeah.
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 Anyway, 8.5 minutes in, we're a little less than 1,000 gold. Yeah, this game is
Bramble Vast. No.
Yeah, he does that. Welcome to Hippo's buys. He likes to go Bramble.
That's homeless set mode. He's gonna be very far behind. And he had a gold lead and he used it on a Bramble Vest.
Yep. So does get. Oh boy, actually didn't hit Sir Aaron with any of.
I don't even think it's that good of a buy. Like it's okay because you stop the Aatrox passive application, but I mean it's like he just doesn't have to auto attack you after the passive, and then he can just heal from his Qs.
Yeah, it doesn't really do as much of what you want it to do, and definitely, especially Hippo, Set doesn't really have a lot of built-in sustain. So getting something that is a little bit more sustainy early because of Aatrox's built-in sustain definitely is a push.
Yeah, to blow flash off of that.
Yeah, he did, and that's just a tough situation for him. And this is where Aatrox getting really close to that beautiful level 9 hit, gonna be able to get his Q maxed out and just start abusing this matchup. And we're already seeing it where Hippo just can't get near the wave, because as soon as he does and tries to walk up, Sir Aaron just has free reign to just start swinging at him.
Yeah. Looking across the map, I mean, Syndra is just kind of chilling with Orianna in mid lane. She's gonna get a stronger item one though, because I don't believe they go Seraphs on Syndra. Well, Orianna is going Seraphs, and it looks like they are also getting No Reply is getting Dragon, and it doesn't look like there's ever contest, and Aatrox is moving down to mid lane as well to hold the wave.
Yep, Aatrox is holding wave. Great team play from the team. They need to pull this dragon out. We see teleport being unlocked. They're going to be finishing it, and Ashe is coming up. Ashe arrow is up, so if they want to go for a pick off, they can do that as well. Ashe is isolated right now, so from her carry, so Bush League's going to have to be careful when he rejoins. Looks like he's going to be able to rejoin no problem. First dragon going to no reply. In this game, such a difference from the previous games. Way slower than what we've seen. A lot less bloodthirsty. I'm wondering if a Draven not being on the map is a factor where there isn't kind of that kill rush.
There's also no
Ashe
Lucian.
Arrow, sorry?
There's also no Lucian.
Yep,
so
point.
Both bot lanes don't really have any kill pressure because Nautilus can't get through Braum, and Braum isn't an engaged champion. So they're just kind of chilling. And I mean, I think they scale about evenly. Xayah probably scales a bit more at like 4 items. But like before that, they're about the same.
Yeah. So. Well, Xayah, I will say Xayah probably has a little bit more kill pressure, generally speaking, because of the stun and just like some of the early stats burst potential. But yeah, definitely needs a little bit more to, make something happen. And Ashe is just such a safe laner. She can just, anytime she sees anything going slightly awry, just W and walk away. It's great for someone that maybe doesn't want to start a fight early. But we see, a couple of micro
Zac is moving towards top, and there's no flash. There might be a gank happening in a moment.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Elastic Slingshot not being charged quite yet, but that dot brush is there if he would like to use it. So he's just going to hang there for a bit. Scuttle control on the top side is in favor of Teague, and it looks like Zac might walk through it. No, he's hovering. So it looks like we're going to see a 2v2 here. Ulti going down. Slam goes down for Sir Aaron. Teleport is in there as well, so we may see another hit. Sir Aaron going out, gets immediately rocked. Abarn comes in. Late snipe for the kill. Teague is going to run in. Ashe Arrow barely missed his big conk on all 3, and Spurg is just running for his life. Gets Shockwave back in. Passive pops. Enough time for Pain Pekko to come in. Pekko's going to be chasing down Teague. Teague flashes through. Pekko's going to try to get a return kill. Only gets damage. 1 down, no consequences for Tasty Crab Legs. but they invested a lot of resources to get that kill.
Yeah, they were really that Syndra was really close. She ended up missing a Q, I think, on Set or Orianna that would have most definitely killed. And also during that play, there was also a fight bot lane, and Bush League had to use all of his summoners, and I believe Jarex also has to use Ghost.
Yeah, it looks like we've got just flashes on the carry side, still up, and a pretty big health advantage on the side of Talon and IREP. Jerks and Bush League both taking a lot of damage, so it looks like whatever the skirmish was, regardless of the summoners blown, no deaths, but a pretty big advantage as we see Void Grubs going down on the side of No Reply. So No Reply winning the global objective battle for now. One dragon, they got the grubbies. So despite the investment top side, Saren's still kind of hanging out doing his thing.
Yeah, he should be getting close to Sundered Sky, and then plays like that shouldn't really be possible anymore after that, especially with like Zeke's Convergence on Sejuani. He can basically just leave her there and use her as a heal every single time if she tries to engage on him, because she will not be dealing damage. The only thing she'll be doing with CCA, but like that's not going to change whether she has damage or not. So
yeah, absolutely. Hippo's stun does not land. He does drop the W, but in a straight fight, although Saren needs to make sure he's not in melee range, because that is that's not going to be a good thing. Teague jumping in onto Bush League. Bush League going for some deep warding. Not going to be, it's going to be a little bit too much, and that is going to be a dead Nautilus. Jerks is just hanging out. Does potentially get a Spidey sense, but he needs to be really, really careful. Spurg is there, but the rest of the team is going to be pushing down. Plates are down as well, and they're just going to get some more damage on this. IREP getting another hit, just hitting as many keys as he possibly can. Big damage chunk coming down from Pain Pekko on an A-Barn, and a rundown from Sir Aaron. W is going down, but I'm pretty sure this is going to be a dead Hippo if Sir Aaron can land his skill shots. Flash out from Hippo. Sir Aaron does not have the flash available, so he might just wait for this wave, try to do a slow push. Hippo has to, he does have teleport available, so if he wants to, he can go back and do a quick teleport. But it looks like Sir Aaron definitely getting the better of these. And if I could take a look at how much gold he has in his pocket, to your point, he's probably very close. Maybe not as close as he would like, but pretty close to getting what he wants. Hippo popping his Q, trying to sneak in onto Sir Aaron, but Sir Aaron says, nope, I have the range advantage. Lands the skill shots, and yeah, he's in the driver's seat here.
I'm actually curious. Can you, Rick, can you hover over Syndra's first strike and show me how much gold that's given? Because every single time we have looked mid lane, he's been proccing first strike. It should be over by her, her thing on the right. I don't.
Here, I'll check it. I'll check it real quick.
Or yeah, I guess I can check.
Here, I'll just check it real quick.
Yeah, I mean, literally every time that we've looked at her, she's gotten a first strike proc.
Yeah.
She's gotten 246 gold off of it.
Yeah, that's a lot of money. She's definitely done that, but yeah, we see a dead Jerks, unfortunately, going down. That's the downside of the low mobility Ashe. Very fragile, not able to handle the constant pressure. And Talon and IREP are definitely making their presence felt in that bot side. They are just bruising for bruising. 2-0, Kraken Slayer finished for Talon. And IREP has just been just a rock. A frozen rock, as we see Sir Aaron chasing Hippo down, gets the bounce, gets the hit, gets the kill, but Tasty Crab Legs gets the dragon. 16 minutes in, starting to shift gears a little bit, look for the objective game, and just withstand these individual plays. The scary thing here, though, is that Sir Aaron's such a momentum player, and if he's starting to feel it and he's starting to win these 1v1s, that's a dangerous situation. Crucially, though, I'm looking at that first buy from him. I don't know if he got the same memo you did on that.
I think Eclipse is fine. I think it's, but I'm not sure if it's like the item he's supposed to go. I believe it's Sundered Sky. But yeah, this Bramble Vest is definitely not doing him favors, because especially with Eclipse, like, now this is not a healing Aatrox, this is a poke Aatrox. So Bramble just isn't doing much.
Nope, and this is going to be a 1v2 situation. Sir Aaron going to try to last as long as he possibly can. Does have his flash. Suplex drops Hippo in danger, and he may actually go down. He will. Great play from them. Hippo a little over aggressive. Maybe was on the wrong side of where he wanted to be. But yeah, Sir Aaron just having Hippo's number and really taking advantage of this set pick. Stridebreaker is finished for Hippo, but as you said, coming after the Bramble Vest. He's already falling behind and not really able to do much. Herald being started for no reply, 17.5 minutes in. Gold is very, very even. And Pekka really just doing his thing despite that early kill from Abarn with the top lane teleport. Oh no, exhaust going down. Pekko's going low, and he's just going to get obliterated. Talon on a killing spree coming through. Ash Arrow does hit a little bit late, but that's too little too late. As on the top side of the map, Abarn able to get a pretty solid shockwave, knocking Sir Aaron down, and that is just, yeah, that's just a team play from Tasty Crab Legs. 3 for nothing, and just as it looked like no reply were doing their thing, Tasty Crab Legs says, nope, we're going to be a team, we're going to get together, we're going to hit our shots, and we're going to flip this game over.
Yeah, when you see your mid lane die to 2 players, and then you just engage on their jungle when you know that there's 2, maybe even 3 players mid lane, you shouldn't engage. Like, they both flashed for that, and they just died and got nothing. So, yeah. But I will also point out, I wanted to mention it back when Aatrox got the kill on set under turret when they dove him. He only lived because of Eclipse, so...
Hey, Eclipse is a great item for Aatrox.
Yeah.
Right? I love Eclipse. The ability to haste the damage. It's just and Hippo is eating a lot of Qs. So Sir Aaron is clearly confident in his ability to land his Qs. He knows that he's going to be in these team fights with Hippo. So yeah, I mean, more power to him, especially with the Merc Treads as well, making sure that he can ignore some of the slows, some of the stuns, and just manage that. This is a scary situation for Hippo. Thankfully for Hippo, his team is doing some serious damage. So I think for him, it's just going to be a, hey, weather the storm, maybe look for your fight. Don't lose too quickly, and we got you. So that's what I'm seeing.
She did go Kraken first, so she's not going to be getting IE till 3rd item, so her damage actually isn't going to be that crazy for a while. Like, I think you're supposed to go, like, Essence Reaver or something early, but I mean, maybe it's Kraken, maybe I'm wrong. I just know that in general, Kraken is not a particularly great first item for a lot of champions, just because it doesn't give crit chance anymore, which you really need for the builds now on ADCs.
Yeah, because of how crit got changed. Yeah, I mean, it may be one of those things where there's just that muscle memory of which items you buy, and you just kind of stick with those, whether or not it is the right play for you. Looking at Talon, I've definitely seen Essence Reaver and Xayah. Xayah's kind of a little bit of a funky
She's kind of not great right now either. The item changes did kind of, like, Essence Reaver getting changed was definitely not the greatest thing for her, because she just... Or no, it wasn't Essence Reaver. Navori was what was removed that screwed her up. Essence Reaver was a few other champions, but Navori being changed was what messed her up, because she's just not good with the new Flicker Blade. I think Navori Flicker Blades is what it's called.
Yeah. Navori Quick Blades. Yeah. Oh my god, there's so many Void Grubs. They got Herald and Saren just dropped Herald and Grubbies. So he is just like hard pushing down. Meanwhile, in the Dragon Pit, Abarn on a rampage, taking Smite off the map as Dragon is about to spawn. So 1-0 in favor of Tasty Crab Legs, 21 minutes, and they've got a 2,000 gold lead, but the top side is being completely ravaged by Sir Aaron. Hippo's trying to his hand, but he's just going to finish this turret off and just fight Hippo. Hippo did just get... he already had a Strybreaker, but Jerks is there. Ash Arrow is not up, unfortunately. Talon is there as well, though, and Bush League is not far behind, so Saren going to finish off the kill for Hippo. 2 turrets for his trouble, and feeling real good about it.
That was a flash and a TP to die.
Yeah.
and lose turret, that too.
Oh, man, yeah. Poor Jerks cannot buy a hit. Shockwave going down onto Pekko. Abarn unstoppable, and this is just going to be a free dragon. So another dragon for Tasty Crab Legs. Depth charge goes down onto Talon, but Bush League, the rest of your team is not there. I don't think you're going to be able to do much. None of these arrows have really landed. So yeah, second dragon for Tasty Crab Legs. But credit to Sir Aaron really applying pressure into the top side, taking advantage of his matchup and knowing what he can do. But the dragon game is on, and Tasty Crab Legs are really, really focused on that one. No reply needs to be settled, and Pekko cannot die like that.
Yeah, they shouldn't have even been at that dragon. They were making a play in top lane and then they decided they also wanted to make a play in Dragon. Their entire team was top, and then Aatrox and Syndra, when Aatrox already used his ult on the set play, was like, I'm gonna TP in, I'm gonna EQ someone, and then I'm gonna E out. And that's pretty much all he provided, and he used his TP to do that. So it's like, and Pekko died. It's like they should have just not gone for that play. It's second Dragon. It's not the end of the world. You gotta kill, you gotta Dragon. It's an Infernal Drake. It's not anything that's gonna end the game.
Yep. Yeah, fair point. Looks like the mid laners are settling into the bot side. Teleport is not quite up for both of them, but their timers are almost perfectly synced. Pekko's going to hit it first.
Okay.
And then, yeah, and then Baron is on the map, and Tasty Crablegs looking to do some clearing as a team. Abarn, as I mentioned, in that bot side, trying to knock down that bot outer just to get a little bit of a push going, but has to be wary of Pekko. He's definitely ahead in this one in terms of the 5-0, so Pekko,
Yeah.
you know, having to be careful himself because Abarn definitely pretty far ahead. But with that Syndra wave clear, Pekko able to make sure that that bot outer tower stays nice and safe. But looking at how the vision is mapping out, pretty solid vision control on both sides of the river for no reply. So Bush League doing a good job. A couple of wards here and there. Looks like Scuttle on the top side for the Tasty Crablegs. Hippo gives Surin a couple of pokes, walks away, but Surin's actually going to be able to clear one of those control wards. But Teague has just been living on this top side. He definitely wanted to make sure that Sir Aaron does not get out of control, recognizing the potential lopsidedness of the matchup. As it looks like Sir Aaron actually finished his second item.
Yeah, he did actually get a Sundered Sky. So yep. I wasn't sure if Eclipse was what you went. I'm pretty sure Sundered Sky's first, but I mean, it's better late than never. I did also just see in the chat that the Ashe did complete Triforce. So she is, I don't know, the Kraken Slayer is fine on her because she's not building crit, and she's going more of an on-hit build. It's generally, I think it's okay. I think it depends on how you play Ashe. I think the Triforce build is good if you're going for a more ult supportive style. I think if you're going for more damage, I think it's Kraken PDIE maybe. You get a lot of move speed with that build, but I'm not sure. It's some. I know they go crit, and I know that, but like Triforce is generally good if you want to go for more ults because it gives the ability haste. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Other than that, Sejuani has gotten her Hollow Radiance, and Set went Swifties. He's completely given up on trying to tank anything in this game. He's just going full Set health. And I don't think that's and that's generally not. It might be good, but it's going to be rough into Syndra. I mean, Syndra can just blow him up if he doesn't get any MR, and I don't think he's going to get any MR. Generally on Set, you get like resistance boots and maybe like a Dead Man's Plate, or not Dead Man's, or yeah, Dead Man's Plate, yeah. Maybe a Dead Man's Plate if like last item, and that's pretty much all your resistance items, unless you're just really weak.
Yeah, it looks like he's trying to take advantage of the fact that there is a pretty solid mobility issue on the side of no reply, and maybe thinking, oh, they're all pretty slow, and
he's gonna have to flash every time though for that.
Anyway, Elastic Slingshot goes in. The fight is on. We've got the multicolored teleports running in. Abarn is first to go. Let's see where the shockwave lands. Oh no, Sejuani ult completely whiffs. Pekko is in the back, swinging away. Abarn has to flash out. Teague has to flash out as well. Jerks is just burning down Hippo, not able to pump out the deeps the way that he would like to, but a double kill for Hippo into the backline. Sir Aaron and Zach go down. But Pekko, these long fights are what Syndra loves. Both carries. Jerks, I don't know if Jerks is carrying as hard as he would be liking to, but both carries still alive. Frontliner Bruiser going down, and just Hippo going down on the side of Tasty Crablegs. Let's see if they're going to be able to get more, because Pekko is just going fishing. Yeah. Oh no, but there's the hook. Bush League lands the hook, the root goes down, and it looks like, oh, Jerks! Man, Jerks just needs a little bit more DPS. You were saying before about on-hit versus DPS. He really could have used an IE in that fight.
Abarn mashed his E is ready on Orianna in chat. I'm not sure. I don't think, was he even there? I think, wasn't he gone at that point? I don't know. I don't know what he was mashing that for. But yeah, I was just looking at the chat, and like he was spam pinging his E was ready. But yeah, it looks like no reply is going to the Infernal Drake.
Oh, no, they were trying to set up, I think they were trying to set up a ball delivery with Teague.
Oh, it looks like no reply is going to trade drag, and I don't think they have the speed of the Baron to do this. I think they just I think they run to, if they know that they're going to Baron, they're going to be able to stop them. Yeah, and they're running towards it. Right, Syndra's low though. Yeah, they see it. I think they're going to back. Yeah, they see it. Okay,
they have the Ashe. That's why you get the Ashe.
Yeah,
throw your little droney. Yep.
Yeah, your
Yeah.
bird that, depending on the skin, is sometimes not a bird.
Yeah. In this case, it's a drone because she's cool
Yeah, it is a
dystopian
drone.
Ash. Yeah. Or I don't know if it's dystopian Ash. It's just super cyber Ash.
It's
Yeah.
it's kind of
Whose arrow, by the way,
dystopian.
is I think they fixed it, but like when she first came out, her arrow was impossible to see. It was the most frustrating thing to play against because you just could not see the arrow. Sir Aaron's just gonna dash right
in
out.
like season 1 or
Oh, like way
oh
back.
no, that skin. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, I
Like
recall
season
that.
5, season
Yeah.
5 or 6, when the skin first came out, the arrow was translucent, and so you could
Yeah, I
just,
remember
you just could
that.
not see it. And I think they made it a little bit
changed.
more opaque. But yeah, like 27 approaching 28 minutes, we are still dead even, and really no one, despite a couple of skirmishes, these fights have been back and forth, but no one has really made any decisive blows quite yet.
Yeah, I think the most that's been happening is just there's been some plays bought, and then Sir Aaron's gotten some kills in top, and like stuff has happened. But I mean, other than that, like I mean, the one thing that I want to point out is that Oriana's sitting on a 500 gold shutdown, and Zaya's sitting on a 450. And if Pekko or Jerax or Sir Aaron gets any of those, either of those, it gets way harder. Because I mean, although I will say I don't know why Ash is going Lord Dom's third. That's kind of weird when you.
That's it's not Lord Dom's.
No, she has the last whisper.
Oh, yeah, right, sorry. She might be going mortal, but I don't think she would.
I don't think mortals. I don't think.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could go it if you have to.
I mean, unless Ash has changed
definitely
drastically.
Needs it.
Yeah, I was gonna say unless Ash has changed drastically in recent times with the AD carry items. I recall Ash always benefiting greatly from IE, like always.
I think if she was going on hit, she should have just gone Terminus. Like that's the on hit pen item. I don't know why he's going to Lord Doms, but I mean, sure, I guess.
Yeah, there isn't really a lot of, might be thinking, oh, like beef wall, but really, based on what we're seeing here, Hippo's the one that is diving, so
Yeah.
he
with the amount of
Hippo.
autos,
Hippo has no armor whatsoever, so just pump the deeps.
The amount of autos that he got off last fight, I mean, Terminus would have stacked up in like 1 second, and then he would have just probably killed Set before he even W'd. I mean, he'd probably auto attack that Set like 20, 30 times in that fight.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it was a lot. I mean, Set was not taking much, but he was taking damage. Like, I mean, Ash is definitely not crazy high damage with this build, though. That's the one thing.
No, she's not, and that's the scary thing about this fight. Although Sir Aaron gonna have to pick up the slack. The nice thing with Pekko Pekko can just obliterate, and credit to him for keeping his farm up. Looks like he's gonna go straight for the big guns. Not gonna worry about anything else.
He is 400 off of having Rabadons, and he will. And once he gets that, that's an insane damage boost.
Yep.
So
we'll probably see a couple of big fights from him, and he's just trying to farm away. And it looks like they're just stalling. Sir Aaron flipping down to the top side. Yeah, Pekko catching that top lane wave, and yeah. Tasty Crab Legs just not really able to do much at this point, this late in the game. They would have really started kind of making 1 or 2 macro plays, but no reply with their comp. Oh no, Sir Aaron might be a little bit.
I think he might be able to 1v2 that, honestly, with his ult. He's level 16.
He might. We'll see. So the burst
like every time he
auto
attacks, he's healing a ton. I mean, I guess if his ult runs out, he probably is doomed, but.
No, he needs to kill Hippo before that happens, because there goes the suplex, and unfortunately 1v2 not quite there for Sir Aaron, so he's going to go down. Decent amount of resources burned for him. However, no major summers, actually not a lot for him. Man, just going to buy a fight or an arrow. Talon going low. Abarn, however, just swinging away on Oriana. Does get ignited, but he's just going to keep pumping the damage out, and with Ori is able to chase things down, so that's going to be a 3-for-0 in favor of Tasty Crab Legs, plus the bot outer from Hippo, who's just going to continue to push through. So there is that play that we have seen multiple times from Tasty Crab Legs, punishing an overextension by Sir Aaron, and then immediately finding a fight.
Yeah, I also did just check because I was curious. So in the entire game, which Set built Bramblevest's first item, he has healing reduced 1,000 damage in like 25 minutes. And the Sejuani also, I mean, I think she just got it, but she's healing reduced 252. So it's, it's not looking. I don't think that item was a particularly good buy, but at least that early. It's good later, but
yeah. I mean, we'll have to see. 32 minutes in, Dragon being started by Tasty Crab Legs. Teleport coming in from Pekko, so it looks like they want to contest this. Man, Jerks cannot land an arrow. Oh man, this is rough. Hippo teleports
he's going
in as
for
well.
two. Oh, they stole it.
Wow, there's the steal. Spurg able to go in, and the fight is split slightly, 2 versus 3 on both sides. Sir Aaron takes the Sejuani ult, but he is just going to try to face block as much as he possibly can, sustaining through. The rest of the team is just free swinging in the back. Pekko and Jerks, but there goes the Xayah, able to get a ton of feathers off, but it does not matter. Jerks is on the full run, 3 for 2 in favor of No Reply, plus the Dragon back and forth all day. A-Barn not able to carry as hard as he wanted to.
Who got the shutdown on Xayah? Oh, Syndra got the shutdown on Xayah. That's not good.
Huge. Yeah, that's huge for No Reply. Yep, and that's, yeah, they're going to be starting up the Baron.
As well.
Not sure if they necessarily have the deeps that they want. I know Syndra has a decent amount of deeps, but Jerks
I think they've
doesn't quite have the
It's
melt
just Orianna.
Yeah.
It's just Orianna alive, and they have Ashel up in a moment. If Orianna can't risk this, if she gives the shutdown, I mean, that's just game. Like, whichever of these 3 gets it, it's really hard. I also want to point out, so in that fight, I don't know why, Hippogriff just kind of walked away from Ashe and didn't use W. He had a fully charged W from like half health all the way to his death. He wasn't CC'd and he just didn't use W. He could have at the very least have tried to like, I think if he used W, he would have at least gotten Ashe to like 1/3 health if he hit it. And I mean, he had flash up, so he could have tried to flash W onto her as well. And I don't know if it would have changed anything, but it would have definitely, at the very, like, he should have at least used the W. Like, there's no reason to just walk away and die.
Yeah, if it wasn't on cooldown, absolutely.
Maybe I'm wrong, and yeah, maybe it was on cooldown, but
yeah,
I'm not sure.
I mean, it's because it's such a huge cooldown, so maybe he used it. He might have used it early, because that was a weird skirmish where kind of the fight split a little bit.
He definitely he went to from like full health to dead. So unless he just used W on Dragon, which I mean, I really hope he didn't use W on Dragon.
Yeah.
It's like he should have had it up, but I would have to go back and check it. I'm not going to. So
you never know. But the fact of the matter is, as a result of that fight, No Reply is on Soul Point. You did mention it is an Infernal Soul, which could actually benefit them, considering we were saying Jerk's a little bit lower damage than he would like to be. So having that extra Infernal would be kind of nice. But we're approaching the 35-minute mark. Gold pretty darn even at this point. Bases have not been broken. We're contesting inner turrets, mid-inner. No Reply would love to get this down with the Baron. They're just sieging this thing down. Sir Aaron and Hippo doing the bot lane dance, and Teague doing what he's been doing this entire time. And this time, Sir Aaron, okay, thank you for warding, because Teague keeps catching Sir Aaron in an overextension. But there's the shockwave, there's the damage, there's the Xayah, and there's 2 shutdowns. A-Barn and Talon getting a kill, getting a pick off, and really Pekko's going to be the next one to fall. This is a huge turnaround for Tasty.
I don't know if they can end off of that. If Zach should go for a kill the wave. Zach should like run behind and try to kill the wave. But they only have 1 minion. I think it's not the end of the game. So, but that was definitely not. They had all that whole jungle area warded. So I'm surprised that they got hit by that play. But
yeah, they're just gonna pay. And well, but they have Ori Shield too, so like they could just have Sejuani, and Sejuani is a very, very tanky boar, so they could use a ball delivery service. Shockwave's gonna be up pretty soon. That cooldown is nothing, especially once you get full items. So yeah, they're gonna do that. Probably throw the ball into Sejuani. Yeah, and this is gonna be, even with a Baron on the side of No Reply, that's an inhibitor off of 1 play.
Yeah, I think the 2 champions that were the worst at wave clearing were, unless like other than Nautilus, obviously, the 2 champions that were the worst at wave clearing were the ones that were left alive, and it's just kind of unlucky. The Xayah's got Navori and IE now, as well as her Kraken, and then Mortal Reminder. And I'm curious what that BT or that BF sword is going into on Ashe as well, because I think it's IE, but it's kind of weird to be getting IE with this late into the game, especially with when you're only gonna have 50% crit chance. But
yeah, and Dragon is up, or will be up very shortly, so No Reply prioritizing that. Inhibitor is down, but they're doing a good job of making sure that the wave is pushed out, so not a huge danger of...
Aatrox is out of position right now.
Yes, he is, and that has really been their kryptonite this entire time, is Sir Aaron's positioning. I'm going to say maybe a little over-assertive, thinking that he's able to get out, and I understand that Aatrox is fairly mobile, but not when Teague is literally watching for it. And we see Teague and Hippo and Irab, they're all there. They want to fight in this jungle. There goes the suplex from Hippo, going into the back line, tanking as much as he possibly can. Here comes Sir Aaron going, flying into the backside, does get a chun down, but Abarn has not even entered the fight. Here he goes. Jerks is pretty much low, so he's basically out of this fight. So very quick 1-for-1 top laners trade, but that's going to be a probably a dragon or tasty crab legs. No, they're actually going to go for the re-engage, trying to catch Spurg, get the smite off the map. Passive is popped. Zach is popped. Pekka lands a pretty good stun, but they're just going to try to finish this thing off. Flash in from Teague, gets Pekka. Pekka goes low. See you later. Abarn's legendary, and Bush League gets out of there running for his life. So this is going to be Dragon number 3 for Tasty Crab Legs, and they're probably just going to push up and try to take more.
Yeah, that was another just really over-ambitious Dragon. I mean, you were already in a 4v4 when they had positioning, and they had more stuff up than you did, and they caught Zach, and then like Pain Pekko got caught as well, and it's just like neither of those deaths needed to happen. They could have just left the Dragon to them. It wasn't like they were getting soul off of it, and they might just lose the game off of that instead.
Yeah.
Although Aatrox is respawning, so it might be fine.
Yep, and there goes Bush League, and yeah, Aatrox is there. The teleport coming in, and yeah, wow, just like that, Tasty Crab's Legs flipping this game on its head. Well played by them, going into playoffs looking really strong.
Yeah, you hate to see just a game lost off of a play that honestly shouldn't have happened, but I mean they took their game and they won. So what can you do?
No, yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself. The way that I will say that game was on a knife's edge for so long, and so their ability to just be so patient for 35 minutes, and you were joking about, oh, these are like my games, where it really was like everybody kind of slowed things down for that game 3, and then 1 or 2 picks and Tasty Crab Legs just flipped it.
Yeah, it's rough. Now, right. MVP,
I know, yeah. What do you think?
I think it goes to either Abarn or Talon mid. Talon mid carried game 1. And he got that crazy pentakill, and also, but Abarn obviously hard carried game 2. I honestly kind of want to give it to Talon mid just because I believe Abarn's already gotten an MVP, but I'll leave it up to you.
I would say that both of them, I think Abarn carried his ass off in this game specifically, and I think he played super duper well. He also basically won them the series with that shockwave, doing the double catch. That being said, pentakills are so rare. I want to give it to Talon just because pentakills are so rare, you know. So
and I think Talon had the higher. I think Talon had the higher like gameplay over 2 games, whereas Abarn was specifically game 3.
Talon, we're debating on whether or not you should get MVP. What do you think?
I think you should give it to Teague for playing Sejuani like a fucking champion.
Love it. Yeah, he was awesome. I was actually kind of surprised that Teague was on Sejuani, considering, you know, he has the ability to do so many cool things and play so many cool champions, and it's like, oh, Sejuani, all right, I guess we're gonna do that. But congratulations, really, really tough series, 3rd game on a knife's edge for so long. Also, congratulations, I believe you have the first pentakill of the season. So go you. Talk me through your series. How did it feel?
Game 2, we absolutely trolled the bot fight. That was not Teague's fault. Teague, you played fantastic on Sejuani. Game 1 and 3, I think we played pretty well as a team. I think we completely smashed the 2v2 bot for at least those, and we were able to open up the map that way. I think Abarn had some great shockwaves, and I just can't harp enough on Teague Sejuani. Just the stocks are going up for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Go ahead, Lyle.
I personally didn't care for the Sejuani first pick, but I mean it did well. It definitely won you the games. So, but yeah.
All right. Yeah. So Talon, let's talk about game 2, right? Because that game went on forever, and you guys seemed like you had it won many different times, and they were just like cockroaches. They just kept coming back, and finding those moments. What was the conversation, especially as the game got later and later, where y'all had a clear advantage? It just really seemed to slip away.
Yeah, I think I think we were down in gold, I think almost the entire game, but I think our draft overall every game was better than theirs. I don't think at any point, even when we were behind, that I feel like any of those games were unwinnable. We definitely had game 2 won. I remember commissioner of the league absolutely trolling us on game 2. I think
As
like we
always.
had the game 1, but hey, he brought it back in with the shockwave in game 3 to kind of seal the deal on that one.
Yeah, so just to give you an idea on the goal graph, you were absolutely down for most of it, and you were about 5,000 gold down at 28 minutes. You brought it back even in game 2 at 32 minutes. So 4 minutes after you were down 5,000 gold, you had a 5,000 gold flip, and then it just kind of slowly eroded away from there. Obviously, once you start getting that late, the gold starts to matter a little bit less. But yeah, watching y'all mentally reset for game 3 and play that patient of a game was someone to watch. And I absolutely have to give an honorable mention to Abarn, who landed some pretty nasty shockwaves and just went bananas in that last game. But for you in that game 3, you went away from the Lucian. And we were talking about that, trying to kind of understand that, because you're like, oh, Lucian Braum seemed to be working pretty darn well, even in game 2. What was the logic behind switching over to the Zaya, which definitely brought something new to the table?
I definitely wanted to ego it and play Lucian game 3 again. I just think that like because of how me and IREP play, we're just the most aggressive 2v2 bot lane. I think we can really push our leads. But the Zaya just made it so that kind of the same way as the Lucian, where I can still provide a little bit of crowd control with the Brawl, being able to stack the Brawl and passive really quickly. But also, like the way they've been wanting to play this game, we just knew that Spurg would be mind controlled, even though Teague had him on a leash with the Sejuani like pretty much every game. Um, I just having the Zaya the extra protection because being able to ult any of their small engage, and especially when they picked in Aatrox, I kind of knew the game was won. I knew that there was no shot that they could like get on me and I could just kill front line, then we could front to back.
Yeah, and you definitely did that. You were able to get some pretty solid sequences, especially in some of those dragon fights. So yeah, congratulations, incredible play overall. Any final thoughts for our wonderful viewers at home?
All I'm gonna say is I definitely want Teague to be. We're gonna be one or one Sejuani every game for him because I just think that that's his best champion by far right now. So
All right. Well, we will look forward to seeing that fun and interactive
I guess that's
champion in every single one of your
and
series.
every team that plays him in playoffs.
What's that?
I guess he's just saying that for every team to ban that champ in playoffs, whoever plays
Yep.
them first.
No, I want to see fun and interactive gameplay. Okay.
Hey, Sejuani is the most enjoyable gameplay, I'm sure.
Awesome,
I'm
Talon.
sure Teague is having a
Congratulations.
great time with it.
Oh, I'm sure. Anyway, Talon, congratulations. Good to celebrate with your team. Great work.
Yeah, good job.
thank
Nice
you.
series.
Yeah. All right. So that is going to do it for us. Lyle, any final thoughts on this series before we call it a cast?
I think it was a crazy series from Tasty Crab Legs. They brought it back after last week, getting honestly kind of demolished. Like, didn't they get 2-0'd and like, or did they get 2-1? I can't recall.
Yeah, they got 2-0. They had a tough series.
Yeah, it was rough, but I mean, they brought it back this week, and they're in playoffs as the second seed, I believe. I think they're second seed guaranteed. Maybe first seed if
Yeah, we have the Giga tie.
We
have the Giga tie. We'll have to break down at some point. Yeah.
If I'll take Mid's team loses, which I mean I don't expect that to happen, but it could. And then my team SOS versus Yapopotami on Tuesday.
Oh yeah.
Interesting. We always make the series interesting.
For sure. Yeah, and I believe Yapopotami unfortunately mathematically eliminated, but could still play spoilers. So
Yeah, I'd prefer if they didn't. I'll be honest.
Yeah, of course. Nobody does.
I prefer they just
Nobody
go
does,
out.
But there's some extra motivation there. I'm just saying.
Hopefully on Tuesday we just take them out back and give them the old 1-2.
Yep. Well, we'll have to see. Lyle, thank you so much. This was your first official broadcast, and of course, because it was your first official broadcast, it had to go through and it had to be a roller coaster ride. So thank you for joining me on this wild and wacky journey. Really appreciate everything you brought to the table.
Yeah, I had fun. I won't be able to cast tomorrow because it's already decided, and then I'm in the game Tuesday. But maybe I'll be in one playoffs. I don't know.
All right. Yeah, we'll figure it out. But either way, thanks so much for joining us. Big shout out to Tiny Rick on production, putting out the fires, creating an awesome experience. And on behalf of there he is, on behalf of him, Lyle, everybody else who participated, and most importantly, to all of you watching at home, thank you so much for hanging out with us. And we will see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
See ya, everyone.